Central Bombers. There's more to come live from Logansport.
Logansport didn't get the toss and deferred their choice to the second half. Rensselaer will take the ball and move from south to north.
Thank you very much, Alan James. Mark Thomas in for Dave Packard alongside Joe Stetz as we are ready for this regular season finale between the Rensselaer Central Bombers and the Logansport Berries. There's a couple of former LHS baseball players in the house, Scotty Barron and Jackson Fry, Michael Gleitz, John Moss sitting by Coach Wilburn and Coach Gleitz taking it in. If you are in the neighborhood and want to come out to watch some football, plenty of seats available, as we mentioned, being fall break, a lot of families on vacation, so lots of good seats to be had for what we think is going to be a pretty good football game.
Yeah, still a few parking spaces left on the hill,
That's
too.
Right.
There's one leaving right now, but still a few left. And, I took advantage of that for a few years, I'll admit that.
Yep, one might involve a difficult parallel parking job, but it can be had.
Yeah.
So the Berries will kick off. It will be Dylan Ham to kick it deep, and that looks like number 8. But the Rensselaer Central numbers are small on the front, and I believe that is, it's hard to say. So
yeah,
maybe when he catches it, we'll be able to get an identification of it. He feels it, bounces off the shoulder pads. That is a live football up for grabs, and the Berries, I believe, came up with it. I think, nope, Rensselaer Central came up with it.
26 fell on it for them. Brandon Diaz, that's ours. Yeah, wrong side, Mark. Noah Forrestal.
So that could have been a disastrous beginning for Rensselaer Central. They will start at their own 19-yard line, so Dylan Ham continues to impress with the place kicking duties for the squad this year. Not only point after touchdowns, but kickoffs. Got a nice high kick that time, bounced off the shoulder of the return man at their own 19-yard line. At the helm is sophomore quarterback Beck Drone. And as Mark mentioned in the pregame show, Diego Hernandez-Reyes, senior standout running back to his right in the shotgun formation. Now, rolling out his quarterback is a lefty. He's got a man wide open. The pass is going to be caught across the 40-yard line. Still on his feet, and they're having a hard time bringing down the big fella. It is Caden Doyle, 6'1", 215 pounds.
And that was Cohen Westfall on the left-handed throw there. And, boy, that is a nice big target right there.
Sure is. And wearing that number 15 looks a little like Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Releasing that football, who shares a birthday with me. So big play on first down. A 22-yard gain for Rensselaer Central. So what could have been a disaster. They recover the fumble. Caden Lucero, former Berry baseball player, in the house as well. So lots of Coach Fry alum here from that baseball squad. Now the handoff to the dive back that time. Carter Ogborn, minimal gain that time for the Bombers, out to about the 43-yard line. Give him 2. Sets up second down and 8. But a good start for the Bombers on that big 22-yard gain from Westfall to Doyle. And Westfall gets the call from the sideline, now joins the huddle. Just underway, no score between Rensselaer Central and Logansport. The Bombers have already picked up one first down in this possession, have it second down and 8. at their own 43-yard line. In the backfield, keeping it himself will be Westfall. And another gain for the Bombers, another gain of 2 out to the 45-yard line. This will set up 3rd down and 6. So far, the Bears done a pretty good job defending the run, especially you would think the way the Bombers executed that first play, Mark, they'd be putting this one up here on 3rd and long.
I would think so. That was a good-looking play. Logan tough against the run.
So Westfall making the long trot from the sideline to the huddle after getting the play call. Still 18 seconds to go on the play clock, so plenty of time to get the play called in the huddle and get his squad up to the line of scrimmage and ready to snap this football down to 8 seconds on the play clock. So plenty of time for the Bombers with receivers split out to either side of the formation. And Hernandez in motion. And they're looking for him in the flat. He is wide open.
Oh, wow.
And I think he looked up too late, Mark. He wasn't even looking for the football.
No.
And it looked like he was the intended receiver all along. The pass was a little bit behind, but had he looked back quicker, I think he might have been able to make an adjustment and make that catch.
It was a nice play, and it was a little behind him. But like you say, if he turns around quicker, he can compensate for that. But, boy, he definitely had a first down if he catches it.
So, yeah, he went in motion, so he looked like that was the number one receiver all along. But for some reason, he looked late, and that's a big break for the Berries, as that would have been another Rensselaer. Looks like Caden Walker standing at his own 20-yard line to receive this punt. And it's a good punt, or a good snap, and a high and short kick. Walker will stay away from this, and it does take a Logansport bounce, and it will roll out of bounds across the 25 around the 28-yard line. Handling the kicking duties that time, John Yallale, Y-A-L-L-A-L-Y. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. A good high kick that time. No return for Caden Walker, and Logansport will take over. 1st down and 10 at their own 28-yard line, so a promising start to that drive for Rensselaer Central. Comes up empty as the Berries were able to get a stop. And we'll see what Logansport does on their first possession of the night. 9:57 to go, first quarter. Rensselaer Central did get one first down on their opening drive, did not do anything else. And so we'll see what Logansport does on their first possession. And a big hole to Chris Devalier, and he's in the clear, and he is gone. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and a touchdown. 72 yards from Chris Devalier. A huge hole in that right side of the offensive line, Mark, and then there was nobody after that.
Yeah, there may have been one attempt at an arm tackle, and that was as close as anybody got to him, and you are not going to bring him down with an arm tackle.
No. So 72 yards, so just like that. One play after Rensselaer Central had a promising start to their drive.
Wow.
They ended up having to punt it away, and Chris Devalier, a 72-yard touchdown run. And, Mark, you talked about it a little bit last week, the offensive line, and they have just been one of the strengths of this ball club all season long.
Oh, yeah. That hole there, I mean, I'm not going to say I could get through it. It's not that big, but it.
You could have got 3 or 4 yards, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
And the point after is good this time from Dylan Hammond, just like that. That is Brandon Diaz-Garcia on senior night, given a chance to make the extra point. So Diaz-Garcia with the point after. And the Berries are on top, 7-0. And that, as if this crowd needed anything to get excited about on senior night, got a jolt there.
Oh, man. And pumped us up, and boy, their sideline just in shock. And they don't have a lot of kids dressed. Just noticing, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 kids. There's 3 or 4 in street clothes over there. So, that's a good start for us.
So we'll see what Rensselaer Central can do. They had an impressive play on that first possession. Nice play-action pass. Quarterback rolled out and hit his big target. Doyle, we'll see maybe some more of that. As Mark mentioned, very tough against the run is this Logansport defense. So Rensselaer Central, you don't want to become one-dimensional this early, but based on that first drive, they might have more success if they go to the air more often.
Yeah, definitely, Joe. The other pass, again, should have been a big play.
Yep.
And I would not go away from it if I was
Absolutely not. Just the play was there, just the execution was just off a little bit. So Dylan Ham to kick this one away. And that looks like he's wearing a 7 back there, but there's no 7 in the programs unless I'm reading that number wrong. So here is a high and short kick going to be fielded by one of the upbacks, Hernandez Reyes. Breaks one tackle, spins his way out to the 25-yard line. So a pretty good effort by Hernandez Reyes. And Rensselaer Central in decent starting field position at their own 25-yard line for their second possession of the night. 9:39 to go here in the opening quarter. Logansport on a 72-yard Chris Devalier touchdown with an early 7-0 lead.
Yeah, I think Hernandez Reyes pretty much does everything for these guys. So well, you'll get used to hearing his name
Yeah.
tonight.
Yep. And it's a hyphenated name, but at least both of those names are easy to pronounce. So we'll take that.
Yes.
As the LA Dodgers trying to make a game of it in the NLCS Game 5, they were down 10-2. It is now 10-5 in the top of the fifth. So if you took the over, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. First down and 10 for Rensselaer Central. Now flag on the play, and it's going to be a false start on the Bombers. So the Matt Lang penalty tracker for the first time tonight comes into play. 5-yard penalty against Rensselaer Central will make it 1st and 15.
Yeah, not a good way to start a drive.
No, after Hernandez did a pretty decent job with the return to give you a decent starting field position. Now you move back 5 yards, and you get behind the chains just a little bit. Now 1st and 15, and we were thinking they might look to pass more on this possession. I think the 1st and 15 probably makes this necessity now to throw the ball. Maybe on first down as they executed last time on first down. Now Westfall, same play as before, rolls out to his left. He's got a man open, and it is almost intercepted as Deegan Kitchell read that one all the way, jumped the route, and it went through his fingertips. He took a hard fall along the track there just outside of the out-of-bounds marker, and he's slow to get up, but it's going to take a lot more than that to get Deegan up, but he's looks like he's favoring his left leg on that as he hit the track hard on that incomplete pass. 2nd down and 15.
Boy, he closed on that well because there was a guy open.
Yes, there was. Westfall just a little bit late in delivering that one. So 2nd down and 15 for the Bombers. Westfall fakes the handoff and now gives it up to Reyes Hernandez. He's got a big hole across the 30, across the 35. Jackson Guajardo will have to bring him out of bounds, but close to the midfield stripe, and nice play that time for the Bombers. They faked to Ogborn and then handed to Hernandez Reyes. That double handoff really helped Rensselaer Central in that one.
They look like they do some nifty things on offense.
Yeah, just like I said, this execution was lacking a little bit on that last possession. But they've got some playmakers on the offensive side of the ball here so far in the early going, and they have it 1st down and 10 at their own 47-yard line, 9:23 to go. Opening quarter. The Berries on top 7-0. The handoff to Ogborn. He's into Logansport territory as he was bobbling that handoff a little bit after Westfall gave it to him, but he's able to secure it and get positive yardage into Logansport territory for a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, Ogborn, their second leading rusher on the season, and a good job of keeping his balance right there to get 5.
And 5'9", 185, so that is a solidly built ball player and just a junior. So with Hernandez Reyes graduating, Ogborn will be the featured back next year, but he's, as Mark mentioned, the second leading rusher. He's more than capable of doing some damage to the opposition. So 2nd down and 5 for the Bombers. They have it at the 48-yard line of Logansport. And now tackle behind the line of scrimmage as Deegan Kitchell, anything that was wrong with that lower leg.
He is okay.
A loss of a yard back to the 49-yard line. As Deegan Kitchell just seems to get better and better with each passing game in that middle linebacker position. And that is a big play for this Logansport defense. A loss of 1. Sets up 3rd down and 6 for the Bombers.
Yeah, we haven't assumed the name is much, and number 1 is their leading receiver. We haven't seen him go to him yet, but he is there.
So tight formation, and now the handoff to Hernandez Reyes, and he will have 1st down yardage, I think. It all depends on the spot. It looks like where the line judge is spotting him, it will be a 1st down. So again, that they fake the handoff to Ogborn and then run it to Hernandez Reyes. They've run that play twice, and it has worked both times.
And good run, and it was a good tackle, but the tackle almost gave him the 1st down on that, I believe.
So a big 3rd down conversion that time for the Rensselaer Central Bombers. They have it 1st down and 10 at the Logansport 42-yard line. Clock is running, 7:45 to go, opening quarter. Logansport 7, Rensselaer Central nothing. The Bombers looking to even this score on this drive. They've got a nice drive put together here so far. Now Westfall will keep it himself, try to go around the right edge, and that is some good support from the secondary. And I believe that was Caden Walker coming up from, Jackson Walker.
Jackson, yep.
Coming up from the secondary as Ogborn had the edge, but Jackson took it away from him. No gain on the play. That will set up 2nd down and 10. But I'm with you, Mark. I like what I see out of this Rensselaer Central offense. Westfall does a nice job with some trickeration back there, handing the ball off to different running backs and play action. So 2nd down and 10 for the Bombers. They have it at the Logansport 42-yard line as we approach 7 minutes to play, opening quarter. Bears on top 7-0. High snap. Westfall's able to bring it down, and Ogborn trying to get around the left side. And nice job that time from Elliot Baldini to take away the edge and brings him down following a short gain. Gain of 1 that time. It looked like maybe Ogborn turned it inside before he needed to. If he kept going outside, he might have got a couple extra yards. But Baldini did a nice job. And it's 3rd and long for the Bombers.
Yeah, Baldini showing off that speed. We've seen that on both sides of the ball.
So Westfall again with the long run back to the huddle after getting the play call from the sideline. The coaches to our right said, you got to go, and I think they see the play clock is already inside of 10 seconds, so they're going to have to hustle to the line of scrimmage. They might have to take a timeout.
And they really don't put anybody out wide. They put 2 backs back on either side of the quarterback pretty much every time, at least so far.
Yep. And the coaches having a word for their offense is the assistant coaches to our right. They saw that the play clock was running down. It's a lot easier when you're up here.
Yeah. And
instead of being out on the field with trying to call the play, but Rensselaer Central did have all 3 of their timeouts left, obviously, so they are down to 2. So it's 3rd down and 9 with 6:14 to go. In our opening quarter, a 72-yard touchdown run from Chris DeValier on Logansport's first play from scrimmage. They've had the ball for just 1 play, but it was a big one, up 7-0. Rensselaer Central with a nice drive put together and a huge 3rd down here. As the Bombers can get right back in this game if they can put points on the board on this possession. And you'd think from this spot on the field, they're looking at 4-down territory, so they have 2 plays to try and pick up these 9 yards.
Yeah, nice job of mixing things up on this drive so far by Rensselaer.
Yep, no doubt. The Mets got out of that inning. It's Andy Pajes, a 3-run homer to bring the Dodgers a little bit closer. Still a long way to go. The Mets on top 10-5 as they head to the bottom of the 5th. Is it still Citi Field? I can't keep up with all the name changes and corporate sponsorships.
I think it is.
Now Westfall back to pass. He's under heavy pressure. Puts it up for grabs, and it is going to be intercepted by Jackson Guajardo. And he's going to be near the 30-yard line.
And, boy, he had pressure hanging all over him that time. That's what caused the pick.
Yep, Deegan Kitchell in on the blitz. Forced Westfall to scramble and throw it before he could get his feet set and hung up just a little bit. And Jaquez Jackson Guajardo on senior night with an interception. And the Berries are in business at their own 29-yard line. A great job by the Berries defense dialing up that blitz on 3rd and long. And I'm surprised you don't see more teams doing that, Mark. 3rd and long. The receivers have to get time to get past the chains. You put pressure on, and they have no chance, and that's what we saw that time.
Yeah, that may be guys open, but it's tough to see when you're on your back.
That's for sure. Now the counter play to Walker, and he's got some big hole across the 40-yard line. Nice tackle that time from Diego Hernandez-Reyes. As Caden Walker was in the open field. Still got a nice game, but that could have been a whole lot more without that fine open field tackle.
Yeah, Caden Walker looks pretty good.
Yes, he does.
No ill effects from last week.
Out to the 42-yard line. Gain of 13 on that play. As Coach Johnson in the postgame show told us it's a knee that's just kind of been bothering them all season long, but fortunately they had a big lead and they were able to keep him out the rest of the night. And he's had a week to heal, and as Mark mentioned, he looks great. Now Baldini on the fullback dive into Rensselaer Central territory. Another tackle by Hernandez-Reyes, but when your strong safety's making these tackles way downfield, that's not a good sign for your defense.
No, and a nice cut there by Baldini.
Yes.
He's moving a little gingerly, going back to the huddle here, but
give him 14 yards on that first down play. So 2 plays, and just like that, the Berries are in Rensselaer Central territory. 1st down and 10.
Yeah, Barry's right about at 100 yards on 3 plays so far.
At the 44-yard line. Now another counter play to Caden Walker. Nice move by Walker. Another nice move. And he has a solid gain inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line. Caden did a lot of that on his own. Made a couple men miss. And a 5-yard pickup on 1st down for the Berries.
Yeah, Barry's moving the ball very well. And Caden Walker, not the biggest guy in the world, but he's not scared to run up inside.
So DeValier in for Baldini in the fullback position. That looks to be the only positional changes. The brothers Walker at wingback, Deegan Kitchell at tight end, and Carson Duke split out wide to the right in that flanker formation. Now Kitchell shifts over to the right side of the formation. Now fullback dive to DeValier. He's got a big hole inside the 30-yard line down to the 26-yard line. Another big hole that time by that offensive line. DeValier doesn't need a whole lot of help, but when you get a big hole like that, it's going to be a successful play.
Yeah, Barry's running up the middle, running outside, and so far Rensselaer Central not being able to stop him anywhere.
Gain of 13 yards for DeValier. And another Logansport 1st down, 1st and 10. They have it at the Rensselaer Central 26-yard line. 4.5 minutes to go in our first quarter. The Berries on top, 7-0. Logansport trying to put another one on the board as they got a nice drive going here. Walker in motion. Now Herr fakes it to him. He's under heavy pressure, and the pass is going to be incomplete. As nice job that time by Doyle coming in on the blitz from the edge. As DeValier was wide open in the flat, he probably could have scored. But like you said, Mark, on the previous play, if you're on your back, it's hard to complete passes.
Yeah, I've never understood. They always talk about the great quarterbacks. Oh, you can't pressure this guy. Mm-hmm. Really? So you just sit there and watch him pick you apart a little bit at a time. That's great.
2nd down and 10 at the 26. I still remember back in the 46 defense with the Bears when they won the Super Bowl. Their coaches were talking about how the receivers were open all over the field, but had no time to get those passes off because of the pressure. So
exactly,
I've always been a proponent of putting pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, Buddy Ryan.
Yep. 2nd down and 10 for the Berries. Now handoff to Walker on the sweep, and he finishes the run this time inside the 20-yard line. As I believe it was Noah Forrestall. Tried to deliver the hit, but Caden delivered a lot of the punishment that time inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line for a 7-yard pickup and a very manageable 3rd down for the Berries. Now 3rd down and 3. The line to make is the Rensselaer Central 16-yard line. Walker was knocked out of bounds, so the clock stopped with 4:14 to go in our opening quarter. A 7-0 Logansport lead in the regular season finale here at LMH Stadium. Logansport trying to make it 8-1 on the year. Now the handoff to DeValier up the middle. Another big hole inside the 10-yard line, down to the 8. As DeValier just seems to have an extra gear tonight, Mark, on those fullback dives.
Yeah, he sure does. He's not getting touched till he's about 7 yards past the line of scrimmage.
So they will spot it at the 8, 1st and goal for Logansport. Inside of 4 minutes to go in our opening quarter. Bears up 7-0, looking to add to that one possession lead. DeValier gets the play call from her. The sweep to Caden Walker. A flag is on the play, thrown in the area of offensive holding, and this is probably going to come back as the referee threw it right at the offensive line. And that is the indication holding on Logansport. Matt Lang penalty tracker. First penalty of the night for the Berries. Rensselaer Central with one as well. So it will be 1st and goal, but the ball will be moved outside the 10-yard line. It all depends on where the infraction occurred. It looks like they're standing at the 6. Maybe that's where the hold occurred, so that will mark it off to the 16-yard line. And that's where the ball is spotted.
Well, Rensselaer Central just happy to get a little break for their defense here, I think.
So 1st and goal. Now the ball at the 16 following the penalty. Berries quickly back to the line of scrimmage, ready to snap this football. Herr rolls out to his left. He's got a man wide open, and the pass is caught for a touchdown to Deegan Kitchell on a well-thrown ball that time from Herr. Kitchell was wide open, and he hit him in stride for a Logansport touchdown.
Well, Herr had his choice. He had a guy short, or he could go to Kitchell long, and they were both wide open.
So Deegan Kitchell with the touchdown. A 58-yard touchdown drive for the Berries, following the interception from Jaquez Jackson Guajardo. And now Dylan Ham to try the point after, trying to extend this Logansport lead. Hold is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 3:35 to go in our first quarter. Logansport on top, 14-0. The Bears had the ball twice, scored 2 touchdowns. Rensselaer Central's had the ball twice, a punt and an INT. And this game could not have started any better for the Berries than what they've had so far tonight.
Oh, what a nice drive, Joe. It did have one penalty, but that was quickly overcome and mixed things up. Nice little pass there. But Berries rolling.
And I like the Berries' approach right after that penalty. As soon as the officials spotted the ball, they were ready at the line of scrimmage, ready to snap that ball. It maybe got Rensselaer Central on their heels just a little bit. But 14-0 with 3:35 to go. Again, the Berries draw a home game in Sectional 20 next Friday night as their former North Central Conference foe, the Muncie Central Bearcats, come to town. And because of the proximity of the bracket, the Berries will be on the road for week 2 if they are able to get past Muncie Central. Certainly not taking that for granted. But the Berries on a roll after that. As you mentioned last week, Mark, just 3 points away from having an undefeated season.
Yeah, not bad at all.
First season in the Hoosier Conference. They finished the big school division at 4-0. West Lafayette and Hamilton Heights, each with 1 loss. Twin Lakes and Western with 3 losses. Those 4 schools are playing in conference play tonight. Twin Lakes is at Western. And West Lafayette is at Hamilton Heights, so the West Lafayette-Hamilton Heights game for second place in the big school division. The Berries were able to knock off both of those foes en route to this conference championship. Dillingham to kick off once again.
I'm going to say that's much.
Yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, that might be a 1 and not a 7 mush. But a short kick to Ogborn. Ogborn now going to try and take a return to the right, going laterally, and he makes a couple men miss. And he ran a long way to get not much yardage, but he thought he saw something to the right, which he did, but the Berries stayed in their lanes, and he just went laterally that time and couldn't get much going forward. But not bad starting field position for the Bombers around their own 30-yard line. No,
he did. He ran clear across field,
yes,
hoping something would open up, but the time he got over there, Logan had we got a shoe tying adjustment here. Now we go.
So, nice discipline that time from the Berries kicking team to stay in their lane. No Music City Miracle tonight, at least on that play. First down and 10. Rensselaer Central has it at their own 30-yard line, down 14-0. 3:26 to go in our first quarter. Now Westfall hands off to Hernandez-Reyes. No, beg your pardon, that is Ogborn. Ogborn breaks a couple of tackles and a hard run that time. And he's out to the 34-yard line for a gain of 4. Sets up second down and 6 for the Bombers. It's Landon Morak into the Logansport lineup, replacing Jaquez Jackson Guajardo. By the time this play is snapped, the clock will be under 3 minutes to go. In our opening quarter, Berries on top 14-0, trying to go into the sectional on a roll. After that loss back on September the 6th to Lafayette Central Catholic, they have ripped off 5 consecutive victories. Now Ogborn hands off to Hernandez-Reyes, and he is going to be brought down at or near the line of scrimmage. And that could be maybe on the tackle. Maybe one of the Berries defenders grabbed a face mask, because that was thrown right at where it was tackled, as you mentioned, Mark. A late flag. And it's going to be, I believe, I saw the official indicating a face mask that time. I think it was Chris Devalia who made the tackle, and he may have inadvertently grabbed the face mask. So it's going to be a 5-yard face mask. He did not indicate personal foul. So
yep. Oh, Westfall does a nice job handling the football back there. Deceptive and.
So it is just a 5-yard face mask penalty, but because of that, it's a first down for the Rensselaer Central Bombers. They have it at their own 41-yard line. 2:40 to go in our opening quarter. Logansport on top, 14-0. Westfall once again in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, back to pass. He's under heavy pressure, and he is going to be brought down back at the 30-yard line. Ball came loose, but he was down before the ball came loose, and I believe that was Tate Strong in from the secondary.
Yep, 13.
A big loss that time, as they faked a couple of handoffs that time. And by that time, the Berries, though, had broken through. And a big loss back to the 29-yard line, a 12-yard loss. Second down and 22. As the Dodgers are trying to make a game of it, Mark. They added another run in the 6th inning. Mookie Betts with a home run. It's still Mets comfortably ahead 10-6, but it was 10-2 as they head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. As the Mets win or go home. They're down 3-1 in that series. Now, before the snap of the football, flag was thrown. And it was thrown by the back judge. And so Rensselaer Central, after a good start, this drive is starting to unravel. A false start on the Bombers. Matt Lang penalty tracker says that's their second penalty for 10 yards, but that's on the heels of a 12-yard loss on the sack. So now they're really up against it down and distance-wise. Second down and 27, all the way back at their own 24-yard line. So ideally, the Bombers would like to pick up about half the necessary yardage on the second down play and give them at least a chance on third down. So second and 27 for the Bombers with Westfall in the gun. Now hands off to Hernandez-Reyes, who's got some running room, breaking a tackle, still on his feet, across the 35-yard line. That may be Ogborn. 22 and 32. That was Hernandez-Reyes.
Yeah, you're right.
Out to the 36-yard line, so a nice gain that time. And they got about half of what they needed. I'll actually spot him at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, probably not a bad call with the way Logan's pass rush has been coming right
exactly.
there.
And you got 2 quality running backs as well, so that's a nice play by the Bombers. So they got about half of what they needed. on 2nd and 27, but still a long way to go. 3rd down and 14 for the Bombers. They have it at their own 37-yard line. We are inside of a minute to play in this first quarter. Logansport on top, 14-0. And now 2 receivers split out wide to the left, 1 out to the right. The Berries making some switching on the defensive line. Westfall back to pass. He's got time to throw, and it's going to be overthrown and intercepted. Going down to a knee to make the catch that time was Quincy Jackson, but that's okay. An INT. He wanted to make sure that he secured the catch. Nothing wrong with that. Went down to a knee just like a center fielder to make the play, so he was down immediately. But a second interception for this Logansport defense, and Quincy Jackson with a nice play, and the Berries have it near midfield to start their 3rd offensive possession of the night.
And he did have a guy open over the middle.
Yes, he
just overthrew him.
Yep.
And Jackson, right place, right time.
Yep, and his offensive line did a nice job. He had time to throw, had time to step into that throw, but as Mark mentioned, just overthrew it. Tough break for the Bombers as they've had some chances offensively, but they've just not been able to execute. So 1st and 10, Logansport has it at their own 47-yard line. Deacon Kitcher shifts over and out of the right side of the formation. Jackson Walker in motion to the right, gets the pitch to the right, and he is going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. That was well done that time.
And I think it was Ogborn this time, I think, yeah.
So no gain on the play. The Berries don't have to run another offensive play before the quarter comes to an end. And Coach Johnson, I think, realizes that. As Bryson Herr, he's keeping her at the sideline for a while. Bryson hustles to the huddle, looks up at the scoreboard. Again, Logansport doesn't have to snap this football, down to 7 seconds to go, so we'll see if they try and snap this one away before the quarter comes to an end. On this 2nd down and 10. Now counter play this time, and a nice game this time to Jackson Walker inside the 40-yard line. Get some help from one of the big fellas up front. And it's going to be a Logansport 1st down in Rensselaer Central Territory at the 39-yard line as our first quarter comes to an end. Our score, Logansport 14, Rensselaer Central nothing. When we return, we'll have quarter number 2 live from Logansport.
Harrison.
Welcome back to LMH Stadium. 1 quarter in the books. It is Logansport 14 and Rensselaer Central nothing. The Berries will have it 1st down and 10 at the Rensselaer Central 39-yard line. As the Berries dominated that first quarter on the scoreboard. Mark's still putting some numbers together, but I think it's probably a similar domination on the stat sheet as well. 1st down and 10. Her rolling out to his left. Can't find anyone open. Now puts it up for grabs to Carson Dubes, and it is going to be incomplete.
Oh, boy.
As Dubes was going for trying to come back on the football. Donnie Sellers with good coverage that time. As Her had nobody open. Credit Rensselaer Central with a nice job. His offensive line gave him time to throw. And just put it up for grabs, and Carson Dubes tried to adjust back to the football, but it was a little bit underthrown too much for him to make the play. So 2nd down and 10 for the Berries at the Rensselaer Central 39-yard line. 14-0. Logansport on top, trying to get their 3rd touchdown in as many possessions. It's Bryson Herr under center. Walker in motion. Fullback dive to Davalia. Davalia, a big gain inside the 30. Going to be very close to the 1st down, maybe about a half yard short for the Berries. So set up 3rd down and inches for Logansport on a 9-yard run that time for Duvalier.
He's already over 100 yards, Joe.
So we love people coming in and saying hi to us, but they see the microphone and they think we're the public address announce. So someone lost their phone. She said, phone? Yeah, but we don't have it. So She's going to try to come through the window. So it's 3rd and inches for the Berries. Yes. Looks like Chris Middleton and Clay Scott aren't going to keep the phone. I know they could probably get a good offer on eBay, but they're going to give it back to that nice lady. Now handoff to Davalia, and he'll have the first down. Rensselaer Central did a nice job. Put the Berries on 3rd and inches. Didn't need much, so a 3-yard pickup that time. And a first down for Logansport at the Rensselaer Central 27-yard line.
Yeah, first quarter. Logan, 165 total yards. Rensselaer, 69. Logan, almost 17 yards a carry rushing the ball.
Wow. That's going to win a lot of football games.
Uh-huh.
And again, it all starts up front. And the big fella's anchored by Kyle Rosie in that center position. Just have done an outstanding job all season long for this Logansport football team. Now the handoff to Elliot Baldini. Baldini's inside the 25 down to about the 23-yard line. I'll give him 3 on first down. 2nd down and 7. We invite you to stay tuned for the Comfort Keepers halftime show coming up. Coincidentally enough, at halftime, we have a very special guest lined up. And don't tell our guest I said this, Mark, but he's our 4th choice. As the previous 3 were out of town due to fall break and family obligations.
And it's kind of a guy who doesn't really get out much and doesn't meet many people. So we'll get you thinking about that.
Yeah. 2nd down and 7 for the Berries. Her back to pass, has good time. Pass is going to be almost intercepted. Nice
good
job
timing.
That time.
And was that Hernandez Reyes?
Yes,
I think it was, yeah.
Boy, this kid's a lot of fun to watch.
He is.
Both sides of the ball. Excellent in the secondary. As he made a break on the ball, and he almost intercepted that one. Well done by Hernandez Reyes. That's 3rd and 7 for the Berries at their own, at the Bombers' 23-yard line.
Yeah, just a good play all around. The ball was where it had to be, but it was just great, well timed out.
Yep. And the Mets have added a run on the bottom of the 6th. That's 11-6. So normally postseason baseball is all about pitching. That has not been the case tonight in New York. 3rd and long. Now Herr rolls out to his right and sets up a screen to the opposite side of the field to Deegan Kitchell. He's got some run room, breaks one tackle, breaks another one.
Wow.
Still on his feet, and he's inside the 10-yard line for a 1st and goal for the Berries.
And I think that's how a tight end's supposed to run after the catch right there.
John Mackey,
yes,
way back in the day. But now you're right, Mark. That's old school tight end play that time. It's Kitchell on the screen to the weak side of the field. Made a couple men miss and dragged a couple other Bombers with him. 1st and goal at the 9 for Logansport.
Another good drive by the Berries.
Yep. Now Dubes out wide to the right. Baldini in at fullback. Herr rolls out to his right. The pass is going to be caught and into the end zone and a touchdown. I think that's Jackson Walker. I think. Hard to see that number.
Yeah, I'm waiting too.
So, but in any event, a 9-yard touchdown pass. Her 2nd touchdown pass of the night. And the Berries. And it is Jackson Walker. I thought it was. So, a 9-yard touchdown pass to Jackson Walker. 20-0 with the point after to come.
Boy, another good drive. Another efficient drive. Penalties haven't been giving us any problems.
Nope.
Extra point, low.
Kick is up, and it is no good. As Brandon Diaz Garcia misses the extra point. So it is 20-0. As we have some more people coming into the press box with a 20-0 lead, 9:28 to go. So Rensselaer Central has done some nice things, Mark, on offense, but they seem to have a play or two on each possession that has killed their drive.
Yeah, they do, and Logan, boy, Logan just kind of relentless. I mean, we saw the penalty on the first touchdown drive. Didn't slow things down very long.
Not at all.
Immediate 16-yard touchdown pass, and they're mixing it up well. Her not throwing it a lot, but boy, he's efficient.
Yep. And the defense has done a nice job defending the run, putting good pressure on the quarterback. And then the secondary has come up huge with 2 interceptions so far tonight. So it's 20-0. Good news for Rensselaer Central. Still a lot of football to be played. 9:28 to go in the second quarter. So with the skilled players they have, they're more than capable of getting back in this football game, but they've just got to put together a drive without any mistakes.
Yeah, and they get one-dimensional, and Berry pass rush has been pretty tough.
Yes, it has. So Dillingham to kick off. And now it's Rensselaer Central at the other end of the field and still can't identify, but I'm with you. I think that is Landon Mush a 6'2", 190-pound sophomore. And that looks about a 6'2" kid. That's a big, tall kid. So I think that is
we're going with that.
Landon Mush to receive this kick. Ham has kicked it short a couple of times. See what he does on this kick, and a line drive kick. Mush will field it at the 7-yard line. He will set up a return to the right across the 25, breaks the tackle out near the 30. So a nice return by Mush. And Rensselaer Central takes over first down and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
It was a good return. Line drive kick, had a little bit of extra time to make a run out of it.
So Logansport 20, Rensselaer Central nothing. Rensselaer Central in a 7-team section, so they drew a bye next week, so they've got time to get ready for their sectional opponent. The Berries at home as the Muncie Central Bearcats come to town next Friday night. We'll have that game for you on AM 1230, FM 94.9, WSAL. 7 o'clock kickoff, 6:45 pregame, the Mike Anderson pregame show. Now handoff, and going nowhere that time was Hernandez-Reyes. In fact, a loss, maybe of a yard that time. Tate Strong and Deegan Kitchell. Lauren Taylor also in on that play as well. Loss of 1 back to the 28, 2nd and 11 for the Bombers.
And that's probably how you attack Hernandez-Reyes. Do not let him get ahead of steam.
No, absolutely not. So 2nd down and long. So see if the Bombers maybe put this one up in the air. The very first play from scrimmage had a 22-yard gain on a well-executed play. They've not had much success since that opening play. Now the handoff to Ogborn, I believe, breaking the tackle. No, that's Hernandez-Reyes across the 30, across the 35, out to the 37. Nice gain that time of 9. And a very manageable 3rd down for the Bombers, 3rd and 2 at their own 37-yard line.
Yeah, we'll see what they choose to do here. That's a nice run, Hernandez-Reyes. He's got good balance. You can tell. You better get him low because
8:15 to go, first half. Logansport 20, Rensselaer Central nothing. The Bombers have it 3rd down and 2 at their own 37-yard line. Westfall in the gun. High snap, is able to get it handed off, and a 1st down and more across the 40-yard line out to the 44-yard line. As that was Ogborn this time. 5'9" junior, 185-pounder, out to the 44-yard line. And a nice job by Westfall. Didn't panic on that high snap. No. Was able to secure it and get that handoff without disrupting the timing at all of that play.
Going left side of the line, just buried the Logansport line.
So the Bombers move the chains, have it 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. 7:45 to go, first half. The Bears on top, 20-0. Rensselaer Central trying to put some points on the board, get back into this game. Now the handoff to Ogborn, who's got some running room, and he's into Logansport territory across midfield.
Only 9 again.
Yep. He's at 48-yard line. Well done by Ogborn. Actually give him to the 47-yard line. As Mark said, a gain of 9 on that play. 2nd down and 1. So this is not unfamiliar what we've seen so far tonight. Rensselaer Central has had some good plays, and then a bad play or two has derailed their drive. So Let's see if that pattern continues. The Bombers can continue to put together an outstanding drive to get right back in this game. And with lots of time to go, still 7 minutes to go here in this first half. Now the handoff to Hernandez-Reyes, and he will have the 1st down inside the 45-yard line down to the 41. And the Bombers have something going on this possession, Marcus. That offensive line is doing a nice job.
Yeah, and it looks like a little better tempo. It seems like it's not running the play clock down so far. Got a little bit of rhythm going.
So they are in Logansport territory. Once again, they have it 1st and 10 at the Logansport 41-yard line. 6:45 to go, first half. Bears on top, 20-0. Rensselaer Central, though, with a nice drive. See if they can cash it in on this 1st down play. Now the handoff to Ogborn. He's hit right away. He's able to fall forward for a yard or 2. Down to the 44-yard line, Christopher Curry made first contact. And we give him forward progress to the 40 for a 2-yard pickup. 2nd down and 8 for the Bombers. Again, Logansport with a home game next Friday night. And section of play when Muncie Central comes to town, and our chief meteorologist, Echo Simpson, calling for a high in the mid-60s and sunny. So should be another nice night of weather for high school football next Friday night. Now the handoff to Ogborn, who spins his way out of a tackle, and he is very close to the 1st down, and I believe they will give him the 1st down. Down to the 31-yard line.
Ogborn, nice drive here.
And that offensive line, as you mentioned, Mark, doing a nice job. As the Bears are on their heels defensively on this possession. Rensselaer Central started at their own 29-yard line. They've moved it down to the 31. A 50-yard drive so far for the Bombers. First down and 10, they have it at the Logansport 31-yard line. 5.5 minutes to go first half. The Bears on top 20-0, but Rensselaer Central can get right back in the game if they can put this one in. And now the Bears will crawl into the neutral zone this time. Encroachment. Matt Lang penalty tracker. The third penalty for the Bears for 20 yards. And the 1st and 5 for Rensselaer Central. It's a nice job by Westfall. He knows that the Bears defense is on their heels, wanting to make a play and a little bit anxious, and they jumped into the neutral zone for that offside penalty.
Yeah, got a nice drive going here, and have not thrown the ball yet on this drive.
And not needed to, the way that they're chewing up yardage on the ground. 1st and 5 for the Bombers following the penalty at the Bears' 26-yard line. And now another flag on the play, thrown by the back judge, I believe. And we'll see what the call is, and this is going to be a false start on Rensselaer Central. So the 5 yards they just got.
Move it back.
So we'll go back to the original line of scrimmage on this set of downs, and we'll do it again. 1st down and 10. And that's something you just can't do. Mark down 20-0. You got a nice drive put together. You got a penalty just setting you up in a nice down and distance, and you give that yardage right back.
Yeah, it just takes away all the rhythm and momentum you had going.
Yep. So we'll do it again. 1st down and 10 at the Logansport 31-yard line. Westfall hands off to Ogborn. Ogborn spins his way down near the 25-yard line. We'll say his knee touched down at the 26. But a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5 for Rensselaer Central.
Nothing fancy for Ogborn, but he's strong and he finishes his runs.
And Rensselaer Central with 2 timeouts remaining and 4:25, so plenty of time. That will not be a factor on this possession for the Bombers. You wouldn't think, especially the way they're moving the ball on this drive. 2nd down and 5 for the Bombers. Now Westfall hands off, and this time a tackle for loss. Hernandez-Reyes is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Deegan Kitchell, Kyle Rosie, Tate Strong probably missed a barrier or two on that tackle, but a loss back to the 27-yard line. And we'll set up 3rd down and 6. So here is a huge play. We are inside of 4 minutes to go in our first half. The Bears on top 20-0. 3rd and 6 for Rensselaer Central. Let's see if maybe they try to go to the airs. It's been exclusively on the ground on this drive, as they've done a nice job moving the football. Now Westfall is back to pass under heavy pressure. The pass is going to be incomplete, as Hernandez-Reyes was open in the flat, but he was under heavy pressure. Tate Strong coming up on that safety blitz. I think Westfall threw it a hair before he wanted to, and that's because of the pressure put on by Tate Strong.
Yeah, Strong, that's 2nd or 3rd time he's been back here just making you rush, and that's all you need.
Absolutely. As he was open, but he couldn't step into it and follow through, and it just sailed on him a little bit. It'll be 4th down and 6. The Bombers giving every indication that they're going to go for it. I think that's the right call. As there was a holding penalty that time. And they're saying that the Berries have declined it. I didn't even see the indication.
I didn't either.
Coach Johnson, that's a tough one to make. Do you take the down or you take the yardage?
Yeah.
I mean, darned if you do, darned if you don't. So if you give it the first time, you're like, well, why didn't you take the yardage? So it's a results-oriented profession, obviously. So 4th down and 6. So if the 3rd down and 6 play was big, this is huge. Yes, the Bombers have a big play here. 4th down and 6. And now we get a flag on the play before the snap of the football.
Boy.
And it's going to be a false start on Rensselaer Central.
Things have ground to a halt here.
Yep. And it seemed to all start, Mark, with that false start penalty when they had it 1st and 5. That, just like you said, it just kind of messed up the rhythm that they had going on this drive.
Yep.
And they just have not seemed to recover. So even if it was just a 5-yard penalty, because it messed up the rhythm, as they were on a good flow on this possession. And now they're up against it. 4th down and 11 at the 32, and the Berries have not been shy about blitzing. I would expect more pressure to be put on, and I think Rensselaer Central is thinking that very same thing, so they will call a timeout. They do have 1 timeout remaining with 3:31 to go here in our first half. The Berries up 20-0. 4th down and 11. And the Bombers know how important this play is. If they can get right back in it, if they can put some points on the board, and if the Berries come up with a stop, they have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. And they might have time to put points up before we get to intermission.
Yeah, it's been a good drive by Rensselaer. Nothing fancy, just 5, 6, 7 yards at a pop. And again, oh boy, every bit of momentum they had just disappeared as soon as the penalties started happening. Again,
we invite you to stay tuned for our Comfort Keepers halftime show. We have a special guest lined up. As the Mets and the Dodgers have moved to the bottom half of the 7th inning at Citi Field in New York. The Mets on top 11-6. The Dodgers leading that series 3-1. At one point, the Mets were up 10-2. Figured they had that one well in hand, but the Dodgers putting up a fight as the Mets are trying to save their season. The Yankees in Cleveland, Game 4, as the Guardians were down to their final out last night, down 5-3 in the bottom of the 9th. And a miraculous win for the Indians. A pinch hit home run for Big Christmas to tie it, and then David Fry on a hanging sinker ball on the bottom of the 10th to beat the Yankees 7-5. As that probably would have been their season, Mark, if they lost that one, falling behind 3-0. So they've got new life, and they're trying to even the series at Cleveland tonight in Game 4. So here we go, 4th down and 11 for Rensselaer Central. They have it at the 32-yard line. Westfall back to pass. The Berries don't blitz, so Westfall has plenty of time. The pass is going to be intercepted by Caden Walker, and he's got a convoy, and he's across the 40, across the 45-yard line. One man to make the play, and Westfall does make the tackle, saving a touchdown. As that pass was late, and Caden Walker was Johnny on the spot. The 3rd interception of the half for the Berries.
And that just didn't look good from the start.
No, it did not.
A 3rd interception, about a 44-yard return that time by Walker.
That is a huge turn of events, especially if the Berries can put some points on the board. As we mentioned, all 3 of their timeouts remaining, and 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go, and they have it at the 41-yard line. And I'm not sure what the Logansport team record for most interceptions in a half, but they got to be close if it's not a record.
I would think so.
Maybe we can. Our halftime guest, he seems to know a lot about history and tradition.
Everything. You could have just stopped and said everything.
So here we go. Her back to pass. Has plenty of time now. They set up the screen.
And that could be picked.
Intercepted, and it is.
I believe Much maybe.
I believe Landon Mush with the interception, as that was deflected off the fingertips of Devalier, then off of Ogborn's fingertips, and then Mush with an outstanding diving play. And just like that, Rensselaer Central has the ball back.
Yeah, that was one of those balls that just seems like it's going to be up there forever.
Yep.
And then Much, Johnny, on the spot that time.
And just what Rensselaer Central needed following that big turnover. But they had that screen pass defended well. Even if it had been completed, it wouldn't have been much.
Right.
And Bryson overthrew it a little bit, deflected off Devalier, then deflected off of Ogburn, and then landed Mush, who said, you guys couldn't identify me the first couple of plays, so I'm going to make a play to make you guys call my name. But well done by the 6'2 sophomore. So Rensselaer Central has it 1st down and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Westfall fakes the handoff to Ogborn, puts it up. The pass is incomplete as Mush was open on a crossing pattern. Pass was slightly overthrown. Walker was on the coverage, but Mush was open. Had that been on target, that would have been a big play for Rensselaer Central, but it falls to the turf incomplete.
Yeah, 6 straight incompletions and 3 INTs thrown into that.
Wow. Rensselaer Central does have one timeout left. 3:04 to go here in the first half. Logansport 20 and Rensselaer Central nothing. The Bombers on a big interception from Landon Mush, trying to take advantage and turn this into points. Now Westfall back to pass, can't find anyone open, and he is going to be brought down for a sack behind the line of scrimmage, back to the 42-yard line. And credit the secondary at that time of the Berries. Only 2 in the pattern, but they were both covered, and Mush had nowhere to go. Loss of 1 sets up 3rd down and long. And the clock continues to run with 2:48 to go. Logansport on top, 20-0, and a 3rd down and 11. It's Curry, Rosie, Lauren Taylor, and Elliot Baldini, that front 4, and Tate Strong coming up to the line of scrimmage as well. So the Berries giving every indication they might try to put some pressure on Westfall. Here on 3rd and long for the Bombers. Now Mush splits out wide to the left, Doyle wide to the right. Back to pass is Westfall. The pass is going to be caught across the 45-yard line, and it looks like it's going to be a 1st down. Logan Metzger. First time we've called his name tonight, and that was a well-designed play that time for the Bombers. He was wide open in the flat.
Yeah, Metzger lines up pretty much as almost a fullback every time, and kind of between a fullback and a tight end, and that's the first time he's seen the ball.
And it's a first down for Rensselaer Central, down to the 46-yard line. And he went out of bounds, so the clock was stopped. So Rensselaer Central with 2:09 to go and one timeout left here. Chance to still some time to put some points on the board before intermission. As Metzger, as Mark said, in that almost that fullback position with the two running backs behind Westfall. Westfall fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left. He's got some time. The pass is going to be caught inside the 35-yard line, down to about the 32. I believe that was Landon Mush down to the 32. And I thought I heard Clay Scott call him Mush, so maybe we've been mispronounced, so we'll go with Landon Mush, M-U-S-C-H. Down to the 32-yard line. The Rensselaer Central radio crew is to the right of Clay, so I'm sure he got that pronunciation from those guys, so we apologize to Mr. Mush. And it's a first down and 10 for Rensselaer Central at the Logansport 32-yard line. Clock running, 1:45 to go here in the half. Westfall back to pass. Can't find anyone open. Now rolls out to his left. Puts it up for grabs, and it's going to be almost intercepted. He threw into triple coverage that time.
Ooh. Yeah, that's one there. Just get rid of it and live to fight another day.
Yeah, he was outside the tackle box, so he could have thrown it at or near the line of scrimmage and not had intentional grounding called, but tried to make a play down 20-0. Can't blame the kid for trying, but that was, as Mark said, that was one that you just want to throw away and live to fight another play. Second down and 10 at the 32-yard line with 1:37 to go, first half. Logansport on top, 20-0. And again, the Comfort Keepers halftime show coming up here in just a few minutes with a special guest lined up. See what the Bombers come up here, second down and 10. Now Westfall hands off to Ogborn, and he is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Tate Strong coming up to make the play. Lauren Taylor as well, and Rensselaer Central will take their third and final timeout. A good time, I think, to take this timeout on third and long to talk things over. Kyle Rosie also at the bottom of that pile. That was a big loss. Rensselaer Central tried to cross the Berries up as they had the pass game going these last couple of plays. Tried to go to the run, but the Berries not fooled, and a big tackle for loss. Yeah, and third down and 13.
Tate Strong having a good half. Had a sack, had another pressure, and tackle for a loss there.
I'm trying to see if our good friend Milt Hess, I was hoping maybe to score, but they're starting a half hour behind us with undefeated North Judson, a 7:30 start time with the Pioneer Panthers and North Judson. That would be quite a coup for Coach Berry and the Panthers if they could spoil North Judson's undefeated season. But boy, the Blue Jays are absolutely awesome this year.
Well, they must be. Back in the day, they had some good programs, had some lean times, but they must be back.
Yep. I was reading the Caston Twitter account. Caston had a tough game against North Judson, and they were saying that North Judson had it all as they laid it on the Comets, unfortunately, that night. Of course, as a Michigan State grad, I'm always partial to Kirk Mans.
Oh, yeah.
One of the great sharpshooters who inexplicably sat on the bench for 2.5 years in East Lansing. Brought him off the bench against Purdue one night. He scored 40 points.
Oh, boy.
And Judd Heathcote was quoted after the game as, maybe I should play him more. You think, Coach? Fortunately for him, he kept him in the lineup from there, and he was a big part of that 1989 conference championship team with Steve Smith. And Kirk Mann's a big part of that, so graduate of North Judson. So here we go, third down and 13. Rensselaer Central has it at the Logansport 35-yard line, 1:29 to go first half. The Berries on top, 20-0. Rensselaer Central would love to put some points on the board before intermission. Westfall has plenty of time to throw, steps into the throw, and throws into double coverage this time, and again, almost intercepted. As he had plenty of time to throw. Nobody was open, tried to force it once again, and he's just lucky to see that one hit the turf, and now it's fourth down and 13.
Yeah, it seems like he doesn't, whether they're, I couldn't see if there's anybody else open on the other side, but not a lot of options, and he's going to stick with whoever he picks out, it seems like.
So fourth down and 13 with 1:23 to go. Let's see if the Berries stay aggressive defensively and try and put some pressure on the quarterback. Deacon Kitchell crawling to the line of scrimmage, now backs off, so just a four-man rush, but here comes Christopher Curry, but he gets out of that tackle. Now he's going to put it up for grabs, and it's going to be incomplete as Tate Strong came and delivered a huge hit.
Wow, he did.
That time on Westfall. And it'll be fourth, or the Berries will take over on downs. But credit Christopher Curry, who made one of the finest plays you'll ever see a defensive lineman make an intercepting a screen pass to help win that West Lafayette game. And he came up with a big pressure. Westfall was able to get out of it, but Tate Strong came up and delivered a huge hit to force the incomplete pass. And the Berries take over on downs, 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Well, that was a little different. You had basically back-to-back turnovers and then a short drive and good defense by the Berries. Well, we got a minute 14. We'll see how aggressive the Berries are here.
Obviously, it all depends, I think, what happens on this first play. If they get a big gain, or they might get very aggressive. If not, they'll be content with a 20-point lead.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Nope. And I believe that is Larry Umholtz, I think, from that guard position. And it is Umholtz. Matt Lang penalty tracker, penalty number 4 on the Berries for 25 yards. So 1st and 15 with a minute 14 to go. And the Berries will get the ball to start the second half. So now that they're even further back up at their own 30-yard line, I would expect Coach Johnson to be very conservative. Rensselaer Central's out of timeout, so they won't be able to stop the clock. So will he be content with a 20-point lead going into intermission? Caden Walker in motion. Now counterplay to Jackson Walker. Makes the first man miss out to close to the 40-yard line. Nice gain that time for Jackson Walker. And, well, you have your answer, Mark Thomas, as Coach Johnson takes the timeout. So he's going to try to stay aggressive here. Not content with his 20-point lead. And maybe not a bad decision, especially with the playmakers that Rensselaer Central has. I know they haven't scored, but they're capable of putting some points on the board. They just have not been able to do so tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you're looking – long-term here, you get another score here and getting a quick score in the second half, and you got that running clock going for you again. So
the Bears would have to get a 2-point conversion along the way if they decide to do that. But out to the 40-yard line as Clay Scott is saying, "Go Ducks!" as that game from West Lafayette.
I'm sure they're going.
So we'll see.
I suffered through the White Sox season. Now I'm suffering through Purdue football. I can't wait for basketball.
Yeah, it's an 8 o'clock start from Ross 8 Stadium. Purdue, I was talking to Steve Clare before the game. He saw the line at 23.5 at one point this week. Last I saw it was 30.
Is that per quarter?
Just for the game. Now, I've not seen much of Purdue this year, not seen much of Oregon, but surely, even though Oregon's awesome, you can stay within 30, especially the Ducks after a big win against Ohio State, traveling across the country on a short week.
Yeah.
Surely they can keep it within 30.
Well, Purdue may have found a quarterback last week.
That's right, absolutely. It's a 2nd down and 5 for Logansport. Her back to pass. Has some time now. Screen pass is overthrown, intended for Jackson Walker in the flat. He was well covered, though, that time, as Ryan Kellner and Landon Mush were in position to make the play had that one been completed. So the incomplete pass, at least for the Berries, stops the clock and sets up 3rd down and 5 with 62 seconds to play in our first half. Logansport on top 20-0 on senior night here at LHS. It's the cheerleaders matching the student section, and they're all pink tonight. I wonder what the students will come up with next Friday night for a theme. I know last year they were trying to do Kooks v. Pogues to go with the Outer Banks, so we'll see if maybe they'll do that next Friday night. Now pitch on the left side to Jackson Walker. Makes one man miss, and he's going to be brought down. Stays in bounds, so the clock will stop temporarily to allow the chains to move, but it is a Logansport first down at the 48-yard line of Logansport. And now the clock still hasn't started with 56.2 seconds to go. The Berries are already in the huddle, though, and they sprint to the line of scrimmage, so still some time before intermission as Carson Dubes splits out wide to the left. Hurries them to the line of scrimmage. Fakes the handoff to Valle. Sets up the bubble screen to Carson Dubes, who makes the catch inside the 45. Still on his feet down to the 40-yard line and a first down. And again, the clock will stop to allow the chains to move. Nice play that time from Carson Dubes to stretch that long frame out to get that first down and stop the clock, at least temporarily.
Berries, sense of urgency here. Doing all right.
Clock restarts. Now 34 seconds to play. Caden Walker in motion. Now the counterplay to Jackson Walker inside the 35, inside the 30. Now runs into his own man, but he's all the way down to the 19-yard line. Logansport, I believe, have 2 timeouts to go. The clock does stop, and it's going to take the chain gang a couple seconds to get down on that big gain for Walker all the way down to the 20-yard line on that 20-yard gain.
And that was Jackson, right?
Yep, Jackson Walker. Clock restarts now, 20 seconds to go. Quickly to the line of scrimmage are the Berries. 18 seconds to go. Caden Walker in motion. Her rolls out to his right. Pass is through the fingertips of Jackson Walker. Falls incomplete. 12.8 seconds to go. I think the Berries, they have 2 timeouts left. Our scoreboard here does not have timeouts remaining. So I think maybe the Berries wish they had taken a timeout after that big gain. With 12.8 seconds to go, they've got time maybe for 2 plays at the 20-yard line. So with those timeouts in their hip pocket, they can run any play in the playbook. If they get tackled in the field of play, they can stop it with a timeout. 2nd down and 10. Logansport has it at the Rensselaer Central 20-yard line with 12.8 seconds to go in our first half. Her rolling out to his left. Puts it up for grabs to Deegan Kitchell.
Yeah.
It's going to be caught for Deegan Kitchell. A 20-yard touchdown pass. And now the Bears will go for 2.
Second touchdown catch of the night for Deegan Kitchell. And well-thrown ball.
Yes, it
Kitchell
was.
beat him, got behind him, and Her found him.
3rd touchdown pass of the night for Bryson Her, as Mark mentioned. 2 to Deegan Kitchell, 1 to Jackson Walker. And that was a well-thrown ball, and it's nice when you had a big target as well.
Yes.
Deegan Kitchell, 6'3", with those long arms, and Logansport will go for 2 to try and get that point back that they missed on the previous point after. As the whistle is blown temporarily, as the Berry referee has pointed to one of the offensive linemen. Not sure what the discussion was, but Logansport will go for 2 here. Up 26-0. Caden Walker in motion. Bryson Her rolls out to his left. Has time. The pass is overthrown as Deegan Kitchell was open in the back of the end zone. But Bryson put a little bit too much velocity on that one. And it's incomplete. And speaking of Steve Clary, he has grabbed his stuff. He is headed toward the exit. He's going home to watch his Purdue Boilermakers.
Oh, boy.
Trying to stay within 30 to the Oregon Ducks. But you mentioned, Mark, they might have found something last week, albeit a loss, but put up a lot of points against the Illini.
Yeah, it was at least it was put on a pretty good show. And I got nothing against going for a win at the end of that. What do you got to lose?
Exactly. So the 2-point conversion fails, so it's 26-0 Logansport over Rensselaer Central with 7.3 seconds to play. This Logansport defense has done the job. 3 interceptions. Offensively getting it done. Bryson Her with 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Deegan Kitchell. And Chris DeValier on the first play from scrimmage offensively for the Berries, a 72-yard touchdown run. And that seems to have put Rensselaer Central a little bit on the heels ever since then. So Landon Moosh back deep to receive this kick for Rensselaer Central. Trying to get an update from the Pioneer and North Judson game. And it's an ask and you shall receive. Milthouse lets us know North Judson 16, Pioneer 6 at the end of 1. So a very, very good North Judson team trying to cap off an undefeated regular season. Pioneer trying to upend that. Now a squib kick. It bounces off of Metzger, though he picks it up across the 30-yard line, still on his feet. And this may take the remaining seconds off the clock, but a nice return from Metzger. We've only called his name a couple of times, Mark, but he's made the most of his opportunities. We'll see if they might get him the football come second half. But that will do it for our first half of play. Our score, Logansport 26, Rensselaer Central nothing. We'll step aside for a break. When we return, we'll have our Comfort Keepers halftime show live from Logansport.
Oh, man.
Turning into Al Baker with the long earlobes.
Oh, poor Al. Al's looking down from him.
Kitch! Yeah, he did.
All right, Alan James, thank you very much. Mark Thomas in for Dave Packard, who's out of town, and welcome to the Comfort Keepers halftime show. Our score, Logansport 26, Rensselaer Central nothing, and our special guest is Logansport public address announcer Clay Scott. Clay, I know halftime's normally your time to unwind, but we appreciate you spending a few minutes with us here at halftime.
Not a problem, Joe. It's very nice to be here, and I want to say thank you very much from the coaching staff and myself. We do really appreciate you covering the Berries. It's great to have you guys here every Friday night.
Well, the pleasure's all ours, and so give us some thoughts on what you saw in that first half of play by the Berries.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Berries really got off to a great start with Chris breaking his first really long run of the season, going 72 yards on that guard trap. And then, 3 or 4 consecutive first downs on the next drive. And then Rensselaer defense really kind of settled in right then and has only given up 2 scores since. And as I told everybody that would listen, Rensselaer is not a bad ball club by any stretch of the imagination. They know how to run their offense. They're dedicated to it. Their kids have been doing it now for, I'm going to say, 10 to a dozen years, and they have bought in. It's been at least a dozen years because they started running this before they won the state championship in 2A in 2014. Chris Meeks has been the head coach, and his staff really hasn't changed much. He's got Eric Nallen over there with him. He's got Brian Zacher, his defensive coordinator. And they just do a great job of coaching these kids up. And there's not very many of them this year, unfortunately. They've only got about 30 kids dressed tonight, but they do a great job with them.
Yeah, Mark and I have been talking about it all half long. Even though it's 26-0, they've got some skill players, some dangerous skill players on that offensive side of the football.
And what about the Westfall kid taking that hit from Tate right here on the sideline? Yep. He jumped right up, got across to the sideline. Once we saw him over there, you might have seen him take a little knee. He didn't want to show that he was hurt. He did not. That's a tough kid. That's just a junior. He is, Westfall kid.
And the Logansport Berries defense has been outstanding, and I know you know a lot about a lot of things. 3 interceptions in the first half. Where does that stand all-time Logansport record? That's got to be close.
That's got to be close. And my contact will be immediately tonight. I will be texting Mike Smith, the former athletic director. Yeah. He still controls the record book. We send him at the end of the year. He's down in Lafayette. He had went up into the region for a short period of time, but he lives down in Lafayette, and Mike is such a great guy. He is such a good dude. I can call him anytime, and he will get back with me, or he'll answer the phone. And he always gets me an answer. It may not be right when I call him, but he's going to get me an answer. We had one earlier this year.
That's right.
Deegan Kitchell has been doing a masterful job, and Lauren Taylor as well, of blocking kicks. And Deegan Kitchell now is the single leading block kick record holder.
Wow.
At 6 in this season.
Wow.
And Lauren getting 3 in this season ties him for second. And this goes back to, I'm going to say, the mid to late 80s guys that were that had that record. So it's really a neat thing that those guys can set some records and put their names in the record book. That's what those numbers are there for, to be broken and kids to have something to shoot for.
Yep. Logansport public address announcer Clay Scott with us, also the voice of the Lady Berries volleyball team, whose season unfortunately came to an end last night in the sectional against Western. We knew that was going to be a tough match.
Yep.
I thought they were going to pull it off.
They really were evenly matched teams, I thought. They looked like they were out of it right away.
Yep.
Those first 2 sets, and boy, did they come back. They got the snot kicked out of them, really, in the second match. And they came out of that and played a good, solid third and fourth. And in that fifth one, they just couldn't quite get over the hump to get a lead to sustain. And they lose 15-13. That's a heartbreaker. But from where this team was just 3 years ago, what a job Courtney Long has done with this program, and she's kind of getting it headed back in the right direction. They're sitting around. I think they ended up the season right at 500, or maybe a game over 500. And they 3 or 4 years ago, they had only won maybe 1 or 2 games a season. And so it's just great that she's put in a lot of time. In this area, I know people don't like to hear it, but Rod Nyes is the dean of coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Out at Pioneer, and this is his stepdaughter. Courtney is his stepdaughter and has just done a tremendous job. She learned very well from her stepfather.
And a heck of a nice lady. She was our guest last year very early in the season. We got a chance to meet her. A very impressive young lady. Surprised at the job that she's done.
She's just a quality young lady. She played well, played down at IUK, and came back and now working in the area again and getting the opportunity to coach the Lady Berries.
And we picked a night when your old friend Mark Thomas was here, so you get a chance to spend some time with Mark.
I'll tell you, it's good to see Mark, and I know he does a great job on the radio, and he loves doing these stats, and that's his. He does a great job. He's got a forte in doing that.
Well, I've got you brainwashed after 40-some years of knowing you, but I'm Clay. You've added so much to the experience of watching a Berries football game, and I mean that. You don't just get the crowd excited. You got the people on the hill up there get into it. I got to think the neighborhood people get a little bit into it now. You just add a lot to the atmosphere.
Well, thank you. I do have a voice that carries, and just like my brother up at Plymouth, he has done this same job that I'm doing right now for football and baseball for a lot of years up there, and I have talked to a lot of the Northern Lakes Conference schools over the years that have their games at Plymouth, and they say, I hate that announcer. And I kind of hope that, the Hoosier Conference learns to hate me.
You have to be a little bit of a homer. That's what it's all about.
I talked to Jake Burton, longtime baseball coach in the area. He's 72 years old, and I talked to him today. And Twin Lakes, that's where Jake's at now. Twin Lakes went up and played Plymouth, first game of the football season this year, and he said he shook his head and couldn't believe that he heard me off the PA system up there. And he asked somebody, what's Clay doing up there? And they said, no, that's Brother John. And he said, oh, yeah, John's up there. And Clay's at Logansport. So, it gives both brothers a chance to be booed. And we really love it.
It really worries you, doesn't it?
All right, Clay, we know time is dwindling down, so we know you got to get back to work. But thank you so much for spending time with us. We really appreciate it, and we'll get to talk to you again next Friday. Another home game for
that
sectional
sounds great, and all I can say is go Berries!
Logansport Public Address announcer Clay Scott. Once we get him out of his shell, Mark, he seemed to loosen up a little bit.
Well, he's not used to being around people.
That's right. But no, one of the best guys you'll ever meet.
Yep, you better believe it.
Quality human being, and he has never met a stranger. And
yep, friendship goes back to high school days, so it's been a day or two.
Yep. All right, still plenty more to come on the Comfort Keepers halftime show. Our score: Logansport 26, Rensselaer Central nothing. There's more to come live from Logansport. Hey, Purdue got a first down. They gave up a touchdown, but they got a 7-0. But they're at the 38, making something happen.
Oh yeah. They're just gonna do enough to mess up the betting line. That's
probably. Well, thank you very much, Alan James. Mark Thomas filling in for Dave Packard. Joe Stutz here, 26-0 Logansport. Mark, while Clay was talking, I know you had time to put together a couple numbers for us.
Yeah, I better do well because Clay told everybody how good I do this, so I better do that. But Rensselaer Central rushing the ball, 12 rushes, 47 yards. Hernandez Reyes with 57 to lead them. 40 yards for Ogborn. Pretty good pair of running backs there. Passing the ball, 3 of 12. Clay put the pressure on here, but 22 for 86 overall for the rushing. 3 of 12 passing, 50 yards for Cohen Westfall. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions, as we mentioned, by the Berries. 3 different players came up with that. 86 on the ground, 50 through the air, 136 total yards for the Bombers. For the Berries, 15 rushes, 201 yards. Again, when you're getting over 10 yards a pop on the ground, it's a good day. Elliot Baldini only carried twice, but for 17 yards. Davalier early over 100 yards, 108 yards on 5 carries, 72 yards on the first play for a touchdown for him. Caden Walker, 25 yards on 4 carries. Jackson Walker, 51 on 4. We mentioned 201. Passing the ball, Bryson Herr, nice half for him. 5 of 10, 70 yards, 3 touchdown passes. 2 of those to Deegan Kitchell, a 16 and a 20-yarder. The other one, Jackson Walker, for a 9-yarder, but 3 touchdowns and did have 1 interception. But 201 on the ground, 70 through the air for a total of 271 yards for the Berries.
15 carries at 201 yards. That comes out to 13.4 yards per carry. They've got some very good running backs, no question, but that offensive line has just been amazing all season long, especially on that 72-yard touchdown run to start the game tonight.
Oh, we mentioned Del Valle. He's through the line, and it's 7-8 yards before he gets touched a lot of times. They're just burying people.
Still plenty more to come on the Comfort Keepers halftime show. Our score, Logansport 26, Rensselaer Central nothing. There's more to come live from Logansport.
Ooh-wee.
Thank you very much, Alan James. Mark Thomas filling in for Dave Packard. Joe Stutz at Alamate Stadium as both teams have made their way out of the dressing room, and we are just about ready to start our second half. The Berries outscored Rensselaer Central 14-0 in the first quarter, 12-0 in the second quarter, so it is 26-0. The Berries will get the football to start our second half, and I'm sure that Coach Johnson probably told his players a similar message that was last week, and they had that comfortable lead over Western. Let's not let up. Let's put the hammer down, and they did on that opening possession last week in the second half. I know he wants the same tonight.
Yeah, they immediately came out, and again, it was probably 6 minutes, maybe into the third quarter before they got the running clock going.
That's right.
The running clock is good in the fact that it doesn't prolong things, but it's tough on your second and third string guys that want to get in there and see some action because it shortens things. And overall, it's you want to see it if you're a coach.
Absolutely, but especially with the Berries with 15 seniors, there's a lot of spots up for grabs next year, and you can make a name for yourself in quote-unquote garbage time, but which is diminished. But I'm with you. I think that is a good solution that they came up with. Yeah,
and again, it's you've got the injury factor in football, and that just it makes it different in most other sports. when somebody's physically outmatched, you do everything you can to try to reduce things like that happening.
All right, that will do it for the Comfort Keepers halftime show. Once again, our score, Logansport 26, Rensselaer Central nothing. When we return, we'll have quarter number 3 live from Logansport.
Well, I do have an announcement that we have a winner already for that game ball. Clock operator tonight, Chris Hilton. Congratulations to Chris.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Chris is a great dude. He deserves it. Alongside Mark Thomas, who is in for the vacationing day Packer Jostettes back at LMH Stadium. We are ready to get underway. In our third quarter, the Bears will get the football to start our second half. Elliot Baldini and Jackson Walker back to receive this kick. Chris Devalier joins them as their 3 deep backs. And the 50-50 draw with the game ball, the winner. The scoreboard operator, Chris Middleton, who buys a ticket every week, and he finally got himself a game ball. So congratulations to Chris Middleton, one of the nicest guys you'll meet. So John Yallowly to kick off as Clay Scott trying to get this crowd fired up as the Bears trying to end the regular season 8-1 and move into the sectional next Friday night with a head of steam, 6 consecutive wins if they can hold on to this lead over Rensselaer Central's Yallowly to kick off. A high and short kick fielded by one of the upbacks, Quincy Jackson, across the 30. Breaks a tackle, still on his feet, reverses his field, and he gets out to the 35-yard line. So nicely done that time for Quincy Jackson. And the Bears with good starting field position at their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know if I try to kick the ball to Quincy Jackson on a kickoff, I don't know if that's a great move or not.
Yeah, I saw some game film from him last week. He was our Coca-Cola player of the game, filling in for the injured Caden Walker. So the Bears take over, first down and 10. Throw 35 yards. Kyle Rosie sprints to the football to snap, and the umpire says, wait a minute, son, wait, we got to get everyone set. So now we're ready to snap this football. And our first play from scrimmage here in quarter number 3. Devalier hands off, or gets the handoff from her out to about the 39-yard line. Gain of 4. Second down and 6.
You mentioned, Joe, he went over 100 yards after only, that was his 4th carry.
Wow.
When you start off with a 72-yarder, that's it gets you going.
Yep, no question about it. 4-yard gain on this one. Sets up second down and 6 for the Berries. Up 26-0. As the Mets beat the Dodgers 12-6 to stay alive. It's 3 games to 2 now, LA on top. Now another fullback Dodger. Devalier will have the first down and more across the 45-yard line. Brought down from behind by Doyle. Caden Doyle on the stop. But a gain out to the 48 of 9 yards. And it's first and 10. And from West Lafayette, Oregon up 7-0 over Purdue. Purdue had a couple of first downs. They had to kick it away. Now Oregon on the move with their second possession. Here it's 26-0 Logansport. They have a first down and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Now on the sweep to Caden Walker. Fumbles the football, but fortunate for the Berries, he was near the sideline at the time, and it goes out of bounds. Landon Moosh stripped it, but unfortunately for the Bombers, it falls out of bounds, and the Bears maintain possession. And Walker was able to pick up 5 yards on that gain, setting up a second down and 5.
He's having a nice night, too. 56 yards on 5 carries.
And he looks good after that injury last week. Kept him out of much of the second half, or all of the second half, and much of the second quarter as well. But he's showing no ill effects of that knee injury that Coach Johnson said he's just kind of been a nagging thing that's he's been battling all year. Second down and 5 for the Berries. Now pitch to Jackson Walker around the left side. Caden Walker throws a block, and Jackson's able to take advantage, and he'll have the first down near the 35-yard line.
It'll be about a 12-yard gain.
I was going to say big brother Caden, but it's older brother Caden, as Jackson had a growth spurt, and he's outgrown his older brother a little bit. But a nice block by Caden that time to spring his brother for a first down. Ball spotted at the Rensselaer Central 35-yard line. The Berries have looked very impressive on both sides of the football tonight. Now Herr rolls out to his right. His offensive line gives him time, and the pass is going to be overthrown as Deacon Kitchell had a step on Christopher Crouch, who is in coverage. Not a real big window for her to throw that one into. Would have taken a perfect pass. Unfortunately for the Berries, it was just incomplete. Sets up second down and 10. Clock stop with 10:26 to go. Here in our third quarter, Logansport up 26-0 on senior night at LMH Stadium. Fall break has kept the crowd down, but most of the people that are here have not left. They are sticking around, other, of course, than our good friend Steve Clary, who wanted to go home and watch his beloved Boilermakers. Here it's second down and 10. The Berries have it at the Rensselaer Central 35-yard line. Jackson Walker in motion. Now the counter play to Caden Walker, who's got some running room inside the 30-yard line. He'll be short of the first down by a couple, down to the 27-yard line. And it'll be third down and 2 for the Berries. The clock will be under 10 minutes by the time they snap this one. The Bombers in a 7-team sectional. They are the lucky team that drew a first-round bye. So they have next week off. The Berries with a home game as former NCC foe Muncie Central comes to town next Friday night. As sectional 20 play begins. On a fullback dive to Duvalier, he'll have a first down and more. And like you said, Mark, much of that first half, 7 or 8 yards before anyone has even touched him, and a big gain and a first down inside the 20.
Yeah, same thing again. Very offensive line has just been unbelievable.
So the clock restarts after the chains move, 9.5 minutes to go. Logansport has it first down and 10 at the Rensselaer Central 19-yard line. Bryson Herr under center. Caden Walker in motion. And now on the option right. And the pitch is nicely done by that time by Herr to Caden Walker, and he'll have some running room inside the 15-yard line. It was a high option pitch that time, but Caden with his athleticism was able to reach up and grab it and get some positive yardage inside the 15.
That was a good concentration on a ball that very well could have got away.
Oh, yeah. He was able to pick up 4 yards on the play. Sets up second down and 6. Clock stopped on the out-of-bounds tackle. 9:18 to play here in the third quarter. Logansport up 26-0. Now Carson Dupes splits out wide to the right. Duvalier remains in at fullback. Now on a sweep this time to Caden Walker. Makes one man miss. Tries to make another man miss. Does. Going to be short of the first down, but a good running that time from Walker to get something out of nothing. Down to the 12-yard line. Third and short for the Berries. Third and about 3 for Logansport. Just outside the 12-yard line. Clock continuing to run down to 8:45 here to go. Quarter number 3. The Berries up 26-0. Bryson Herr getting the play call from Coach Johnson. Now gets his team up to the line of scrimmage. Dube split out to the bottom of the formation, wide to the right. Now the handoff to Duvalier. He'll have the first down and more inside the 5-yard line. Down to the 4. Mark, you get the feeling they could run that play anytime they wanted to, the way that offensive line is blocking for Duvalier.
It sure seems like it. And he's and not fooling anybody, just putting people on their backs.
So first and goal, Logansport has it at the Rensselaer Central 4-yard line. Clock restarts after the chains move. 8:15 to go. Now Carson Dubes split out wide to the left for the Berries. Duvalier remains in at fullback. Now sweep to Tate Strong, who's in at wingback, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown, 4-yard touchdown run for Tate Strong. It is 32-0 with the point after to come. And the Berries going to send out the kicking unit. It'll be Dylan Ham to try and get the point after. So Tate Strong with a touchdown.
Well, 6 different players to carry the ball for the Bears
Wow.
tonight. All of them successful. Quincy Jackson just once, but for 12 yards.
Mm-hmm. So Dylan Ham tried the point after. Snap is good. Hold is good. The kick is up. And the kick is no good as he hooked it wide to the left. So that's something Coach Johnson will work on as the Berries 3 failed point afters, 2 missed kicks, and 1 failed 2-point conversion. And those 3 points, Mark Thomas, are keeping us from a running clock. It's 32-0 with 8:03 to go. But this, again, Clay mentioned it during our halftime show, and we talked about it in the first half. There are some skilled position players on that Rensselaer Central offense. For whatever reason, they've just not been able to string together enough good plays to get the drive together. But this is a talented football team. I know that sounds crazy to stay down 32-0, but I've been impressed by some of the athletes they have on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I think their quarterback, he hadn't been very accurate tonight. He's tried to force some balls that, normally against some teams, he, probably can squeeze in there. But, you can tell he can do some things. He does a good job of handling the ball in the backfield. He's disguises things well, and you can see where they could put some points on the board.
Yeah, no question about it. And Landon Mush back deep to receive this kick. 8:03 to go. Logansport 32. Rensselaer Central nothing.
Well, we probably won't see the Bears throwing the ball a whole lot more now, but I'm wondering, Herr has 3 touchdown passes. When's the last time a Berry quarterback had 4 touchdown passes?
Wow. It's probably been a while. Well, some scoring early in the Yankees and Cleveland game. They are through 1 inning of play. The Yankees are actually, they're in the top of the second. The Yankees are now up 3-1. Now a squib kick is going to be fielded by Ogborn across the 25, across the 30. Nice move by Ogborn, still on his feet, across the 35, and he'll drag Berries with him across the 40. You're right, Mark Thomas. Nice return that time. Larry Umholtz on the stop.
He does not go down easy.
No, he does not. Carter Ogborn, just a junior. Colin Westfall, just a junior. You've got some pieces in place next year. This could be a dangerous Rensselaer Central team next year, and the Berries will have to make that drive to Jasper County next year to play Rensselaer Central.
Yeah, I would think they'd be fun to watch next year.
No question about it. So they have excellent starting field position. They have it at their own 41-yard line to start play here in the second half as their defense gave up a touchdown on the first defensive possession. We'll see what they do here on offense. There's Westfall in the gun. Now the handoff to Hernandez. Hernandez-Reyes with a gain out to the 47-yard line. Nice gain of 6 on first down for the Bombers. 2nd down and 4 for Rensselaer Central. Good to see Westfall return to the lineup, as Clay Scott mentioned at halftime. Took a big hit from Tate Strong toward the end of that half. And that smarted, but he was able to shake it off and get back out on the field for the Bombers. Good news for Rensselaer Central. 2nd down and 4 for Rensselaer Central. Now Westfall hands off to Ogborn. Ogborn into Logansport territory. And all depending on spot, looks like he'll have enough for the first down.
Yeah, good job by Ogborn. He was almost on a Berry defender's back there and spun around and put the ball forward.
And now we've got an injured Bomber on the field. So the training staffs from both teams hustle out there. He's a little bit closer to the Logansport side, so the Sidney Latham will get there a step or two before Rensselaer Central. But all the training staff out there to take a look. Hopefully he's okay. The young man has his helmet up. It looks like they're working on his right leg. With 7 minutes and 14 seconds to play in our third quarter, it is Logansport 32, Rensselaer Central nothing. Logansport scored on the very first play from scrimmage. 72-yard touchdown run from Chris DeValier. And they have been unstoppable ever since then. Our defense has come up with some huge plays, 3 interceptions. And they've looks like they'll have this one in hand. Hopefully the Bomber is not too severely injured.
Yeah, he's still down there.
Yes, he is.
They are moving his right leg around, kind of checking around the ankle at this point.
At this point, you hope maybe just a sprained ankle, a twisted ankle. That's something that you can recover from relatively quickly. And that looks like that is what he's not able to put any weight on that right leg. That is Alberto Jimenez, 6'2", 300 pounds. But it does look like looks like he's going to be able to walk off under his own power, which is good news.
Doing pretty well.
Yep. But, it looks like hopefully just a turned ankle. That's something that you can recover from much quicker than a knee injury, obviously. But able to walk off under his own power, which is great news. So Rensselaer Central will have it first down and 10 at the 48-yard line of Logansport. And the Oregon Ducks are doing a little bit of Logansport. They've had the ball twice and scored twice. They're up 14-0 over the Boilermakers. West Lafayette, about 3 minutes to go in the first half, or in the first quarter.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Now Oregon, after that big win over Ohio State last week, in the driver's seat in the Big 18 conference race. Now Westfall hands off to Hernandez-Reyes, who has some nice running room that time inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah, when are they going to change it from the Big 10 to the Big 35 or whatever we're going to end up with it being at some point? But
you think institutions of higher learning would value mathematics?
You would think so.
But what the heck do I know?
Oh man!
Second down and 6. Rensselaer Central has it at the 44-yard line of Logansport. 6.5 minutes to go. The Bombers down 32-0, trying to put some points on the board. Now the handoff to Hernandez-Reyes, that is Ogborn, inside the 40, down to the 39-yard line, leaves him a yard short of the first down. Third down and 1. And obviously 4-down territory for the Bombers, especially with such little time remaining and such a big deficit, and the spot on the field as well lends itself to 4-down territory. But the way that Ogborn and Hernandez-Reyes have been able to run the football, you'd think 3rd and 1 would be not too difficult to pick up, but the Bears defense trying to rise to the challenge. Here, 3rd down and 1. And Metzger in that fullback position almost looks like an old-fashioned wishbone offense. I love it.
And they gave it to
Metzger
him.
will get the handoff, and I think he's not going to get much running room that time. And no gain on the play. So 4th and goal. I'm sure Rensselaer Central ran that knowing that was they were going to go for it on 4th down anyway.
No doubt. Yeah, nice pair of backs. Ogborn's kind of your power guy, and Hernandez-Reyes with the speed. And, hey, we got fireworks.
Here we go. Maybe they were just waiting for the wishbone before the fireworks. First time we've seen fireworks, first time we've seen the wishbone.
Wow.
It's now back to the traditional offense that they've used most of the night with the gun, with Ogborn and Hernandez-Reyes in the backfield. Now the handoff to Ogborn. He'll have the first down. Nice job that time with some deceptive ball handling by the quarterback, Westfall. As he faked the handoff to Hernandez-Reyes, gave it to Ogborn, who got the first down at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, you can see them being a handful for a lot of teams.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. I can see why they put up 42 and 59 points each of the last 2 weeks. This is a fun offense to watch, but the Bears have just been stout defensively. They keep them from putting any points on the board. First down and 10 for Rensselaer Central. Now Hernandez-Reyes reverses his field, tries to get to the edge, and he does inside the 40-yard line. Still on his feet.
Boy, another nice run.
Sure was.
He had nothing.
No, he did not. And he might have a first down. And they will give him first down yardage down to the 25-yard line on an 11-yard gain. Well done by Hernandez-Reyes.
He's at 78 yards now on 12 carries.
5'8", 170-pound senior. But not a lot of seniors on this Bomber ball club. 1, 2, 3. I only count 5 on the roster. So, yeah, you're right, Mark. This team's going to be a handful next year.
And they have not put the ball up on this drive so far.
First down and 10. Rensselaer Central has it. At the Logansport 25-yard line, Hernandez-Reyes in motion in the flat, catches the pass, and he is brought down. What a tackle in the open field by Caden Walker for a loss. Back to the 28-yard line. They kind of tipped their hand on that one by him going in motion, and Caden Walker took full advantage. He snuffed that one out right away. Loss of 3 on the play. Second down and 13. As the Yankees and Cleveland game have gone to the bottom of the second. Yankees on top 3-1, trying to get off the mat after that heartbreaking loss last week when they were 1 out away from taking a commanding 3-game-to-0 lead over the Guardians. But give the Guardians credit. Big Christmas with a home run to tie it, and David Fry with a homer to win it. Here's second down and 13 for the Bombers. They'll keep it on the ground, and it is Ogborn. He has some running room close to the first down. As that offensive line did a nice job giving him a big hole all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, about 12 for him. He's at 64 yards now on 15 tough carries.
So third down and a yard for Rensselaer Central. Again, 4-down territory for the Bombers. Clock continues to run. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play in our third quarter. Logansport 32, Rensselaer Central nothing. Ogborn and Hernandez-Reyes in the backfield with Westfall. Now the handoff to Hernandez-Reyes. They'll have the first down inside the 15. Down to the 14. Didn't get much, but the Bombers didn't need much. Only needed a yard on that third down play. Picked up 2. And another first down for the Bombers, who have put together another nice drive. So far, they've not been able to culminate in any points. There just seems to be 1 or 2 plays that go wrong every possession. That has not been the case so far in this drive, and the Bombers trying to get some points on the board here as we near the end of our third quarter. The Berries on top, 32-0. I'll hand off to Ogborn, who's got some running room close to the 10-yard line, and he'll mark him inside the 10 down to the 9. On a 5-yard gain, second down and 5.
He runs hard. He's good for 5 just on effort.
Yes.
Cut to get to the outside and jumped out there and just beat the Berries to the goal line.
So Yalalee on for the point after. Let's see if Clay Scott got a pronunciation. And if he did mention it, I did not hear him identify the place kicker for the Bombers. High snap. The kick is up, and it is going to be blocked. And there it is. There's that man, Tegan Kitchell.
Unbelievable. Nice setup, Clay.
So he talked about how he had 6 kicks blocked for the record. And now that is his 7th block kick. So the record, I believe, was 3 in a season. He's got 7, and we still got some football to play here this season. So it is 32-6 with 1:58 to go.
Wow. A very nice drive that time by Rensselaer, but again, you're eating up an awful lot of clock, and you almost burned a whole quarter there. So
both teams ran a lot of clock in their drives. We've only had 2 possessions here in this third quarter, 2 touchdown drives, and we've chewed up more than 10 minutes of action. 1:58 to go. Logansport up 32-6 with 1:58 to go. Again, special thanks to our Comfort Keepers halftime show guest, Clay Scott, our public address announcer, who's the voice of the Berries football, Lady Berries volleyball, and the Logansport Berries baseball team up at Turner Field. Does a great job. And he's known Coach Johnson for a long time, and he's on the sidelines during the road games, and a lot of times will text us when he's on the road during the game action. In fact, called Dave Packard and I on the way home from West Lafayette. He just wanted someone to talk to celebrate that big win as we relive some of the great plays. Best game of the year by far that we've seen, and one of the best games in recent memory. A very good West Lafayette team the Berries were able to defeat. So Yalalee to kick off.
I know it's early, but what do you have to lose to try an onside kick?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, you got momentum going.
Yep. In fact, instead, it's just going to be a directional kick away from the Berries return team, but it goes out of bounds. So, yeah, in retrospect, Mark, that might not have been a bad idea. And you never know, because in the section, you might need to convert an onside kick. If you can do it in the game situation, why not? Of course, hindsight's 20/20, obviously, but the Berries will take over first down and 10 at their 35-yard line with 1:58. And Mark Thomas, your Purdue Boilermakers have put together a drive. They're in Oregon territory.
Wow.
The first quarter comes to an end. The Ducks on top of the Boilermakers 14-0. Purdue put a lot of points on the board last week. Now, Illinois not in the class of Oregon, but that's a top 25 team that they did that against.
Yeah, I said, boy, the Big Ten is going to get a rude awakening when a couple of these schools walk into the Big Ten this year.
Now, fullback dive to Baldini. He's got his running room across the 40 to about the 41-yard line.
A good job of Baldini that time protecting the ball because they were hanging on to it.
Yes, they sure were, and he did a nice job, like you said, to hang on. Got 6 yards on the play, second down and 4. As the Logansport Lady Berries volleyball team had a great season and lost to Western last night in the sectional at Peru after falling behind 2-0, won sets 3 and 4 to force that fifth and deciding set. Lost a heartbreaker 15-13 in that final set. Now another fullback dive to Baldini. He's got some running room into Rensselaer Central territory down to the 47-yard line. As he looked like he was shot out of a cannon as the fireworks continue across the way. Maybe they want to save some for next Friday at the sectional against Muncie Central. Now, it's not the same house that was just across the way. This is maybe more in the Marlton Hills area.
Oh, boy, they've got them, too.
Yes, they do.
And look at that full moon up there.
Oh, yeah. So the Berries have a 1st and 10 in Rensselaer Central territory at the Bombers' 47-yard line. Her now looks like he's going to run the option right, looking for someone to pitch it to. There was nobody there, so he kept on running before he finally pitches back to Caden Walker. And a nice gain for the Berries. As this offensive line did such a good job, I think if Bryson identified that sooner, Mark, he'd have just tucked that ball and kept running.
Yeah, definitely. He expecting a little more resistance out there than he got.
So that just, again, speaks volumes to how dominant this offensive line has been for the Berries. A gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down and 4. As the cheerleaders have put their jackets on, as it has cooled, as our chief meteorologist said it would. Echo Simpson, once that sun goes down. But more nice weather on the way for the next several days. Now the handoff to Baldini on the fullback dive, and he'll have a 1st down. Takes a big hit, but hangs onto the football. I think that was Ogborn making the stop. Baldini down to the 35, and we do have an injured Berry. And they're asking for the training staff to hurry. I believe that is Michael Berry. 6'1", 235-pound offensive lineman. If there was a kid born to be a Logan's player, a kid with the last name Berry, Michael Berry.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them, he is on the right hash mark, so the training staff is able to get to him quickly, and Coach Johnson out there, and so he's able to get up and walk off under his own power. That's great to see. So we've had a couple kids get hurt, one for each side, and they were able to both walk off under their own power, which is great to see.
Yeah, Baldini impresses me. He's got quick feet.
Yes,
He'll
does.
make some nice cuts.
Yeah, but he's such a great compliment to Chris DeValle. Just two totally different running backs, two different styles that defenses have to game plan against. 50.3 seconds to play. 3rd quarter, Logansport 32 and Rensselaer Central 6. Logansport has it 1st down and 10 at the Bombers' 35-yard line. Now the clock will restart after the injured player, Michael Berry, was able to leave the field under his own power. Hurd gets the call from Coach Johnson quickly into the line of scrimmage. 8 seconds to go on the play clock, so plenty of time for Logansport to snap this football. It might be the final play of the quarter. Counter play to Jackson Walker. Stumbled a little bit, but still was able to fall forward for 4 yards down to the 26-yard line. And that should do it for the 3rd quarter. As Braden Packard, no relation, comes off the field. And the offensive line, as Michael Berry is back for the Berries. And Logansport will be content to allow the remaining seconds to dwindle off the clock. And they will go into 4th quarter with a comfortable lead. At the end of 3, it is Logansport 32, Rensselaer Central 6. When we return, we'll have quarter number 4 live from Logansport.
Oh, yes.
Thank you very much, Alan James. Alongside Mark Thomas, who's in for the Vacation Day Packard. This is Joe Stetz. 4th quarter just about to begin. Logansport up 32-6. The Berries have it 2nd down and 6 at the Rensselaer Central 31. We have a halftime score. North Judson 32 and Pioneer 12. So Coach Berry and his Panthers have some work to do to try and knock off the undefeated Blue Jays. Now pitch around the left side to Jackson Walker, who's got some running room inside the 25-yard line. Nice ankle tackle that time from Moosh, but not before. Jackson Walker gets a first down to the 21-yard line, and that's where the Berries will begin this new set of downs as we're just underway here in quarter number 4. Logansport up 32-6 to try and complete an 8-1 regular season, a 2-point loss back on September the 6th to Lafayette Central Catholic. A heartbreaking loss here at LMH Stadium, 23-21. The only thing separating the Berries in an undefeated season. First down and 10. Logansport has it at their own 21-yard line. Carson Dubes now split out wide to the right. Baldini remains in at fullback. And he will get it on a fullback dive. He is hit immediately, but he's able to drag that nose tackle forward for a couple of yards down to the 17-yard line for a 4-yard pickup. Second down and 6 for Logansport. The Indiana Hoosiers with a high noon kickoff against Nebraska. The Hoosiers have won every game this year by at least 2 touchdowns. That coach knows what he's doing. Did a great job at James Madison and turned that program around down in Bloomington. Second down and 6 for the Berries. Quincy Jackson in motion. The handoff to Baldini with a nice move to avoid the first tackle. Logan Metzger brings him down short of the first down. He's down to the 13-yard line. Sets up third down and a yard.
And Baldini up to 49 yards on 7 carries. There's 7 yards a pop for him.
That's not bad at all. Third down and 2 for the Berries. They have it at the 13-yard line. They need to get down to the 11. 10.5 minutes to go in our fourth quarter. Logansport up 32-6. Awaiting Muncie Central in sectional 20 next Friday night here at LMH Stadium. Fullback dive once again to Baldini, and he is hit immediately, and he is going to go nowhere. Nice job by that Bombers defense. They give him forward progress down to the 12. So set up fourth down, 4th and a yard for Logansport. And now DeValier will come in for Baldini. 4th down and a yard. Inside of 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Public address announcer Clay Scott trying to get the crowd fired up. And a couple of the fans get up to their feet. Students have been on their feet all night long here. So 4th down and a yard for Logansport at the 12-yard line. DeValier in at fullback. Now they're going to go option right to her, who pitches to Quincy Jackson, who tries to get to the edge. He does. He's going to be very close to the first down. I think he got it, and that was nicely done by Quincy Jackson to leapfrog a would-be tackler and get that first down. All depends on the spot. Well, they're not giving him as good of a spot as I thought. Maybe they must have ruled maybe his elbow touched down because
they're saying he's short.
Yeah, he's short, so Rensselaer Central will take over on downs. So well done by the Bombers defense. It looked like he had that first down, but the official standing right there perhaps saw that Quincy Jackson's elbow touch down before he got that first down yardage. So the Bombers will take over at their own 12-yard line, 1st down and 10.
Yeah, we'll see if a little urgency here to maybe put the ball in the air to try to speed things up a little bit.
This time is running down for the Bombers. Handoff up the middle to Ogborn, still on his feet across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 6. As Deacon Kitchell made the tackle.
A nice pair of backs. Hernandez-Reyes with 88 yards and Ogborn now up to 74.
They have not thrown the ball, I don't think, at all here in this second half.
Nope. Well, the little 3-yard
that's right.
loss.
A handoff to Ogborn.
That technically could have been a ladder.
Right. It was close. So no gain on that run. It sets up Diego Hernandez-Reyes, no gain on the play. So now it's 3rd down and 6 for this Rensselaer Central Bomber team. And even backed up in their own territory, you'd think they would go for it on 4th down as they're running out of time, down about 8:15 to go, down 32-6. It's Westfall in the gun with Ogborn and Hernandez. Westfall back to pass, has good protections, got a man open. The pass is caught. Westfall back to pass, has good protections, got a man open. The pass is caught.
Short.
He's going to be short of the first down as that pass was thrown a little bit behind Hernandez-Reyes, who had to come back to the football. When he did that, allowed the Berries defense to tackle him short of the first down. The Bombers are leaving their offense out there. They will go for it here on 4th down in the yard at their own 21-yard line. Trying to get the Jackson Guajardo on the stop along with Egan Kitchell. 4th down and a long one for the Bombers. 7.5 minutes to go.
Well, how about a turnover here to turn it into some quick points?
We'll see. Westfall now double handoff to Hernandez Reyes, and he'll have the first down out to the 27-yard line. Now, that was Ogborn, beg your pardon. It's 22 and 32. Numbers look very similar. But a nice gain by Ogborn out to the 26-yard line and a first down.
Yeah, I'm really glad we don't have to see these numbers every week.
Yeah.
These are tough.
Yes, they are. So a big font, but a very thick font on those jerseys.
Yes.
Hard to differentiate numbers. Similar numbers, 22 and 32 from this distance look awfully similar. Both solid running backs in that backfield for the Bombers. Now Westfall back to pass. He's got a man open, and it is caught, and a first down and more across the 45 out to the 47-yard line.
His second big catch.
Yep. Caden Doyle caught it on the very first play from scrimmage, a 22-yard gain.
Two 22-yard
Yep, and there's another 22-yard
yeah.
gain. Dillingham on the stop, but a nice play that time. Caden Doyle, 6'1", 215-pound senior.
It's a nice big target.
First and 10 for the Bombers. Clock running, 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go, fourth quarter. The Berries on top, 32-6. Now Westfall rolls out to his left, has time to throw. Now Lauren Taylor comes and delivers a big hit, and the pass is just overthrown. And again, that pressure from Taylor, Westfall threw it a little bit, couldn't finish that throw, and that's why it sailed a little bit on Hernandez Reyes. Otherwise, that would have been a big play for the Bombers.
And they try to kind of sprint him out sometimes, but the Berries still able to get pressure on him.
So, second down and 10. The clock stopped on the incomplete pass with 6.5 minutes to go in this contest. It is 32-6 Logansport. Westfall in the gun with Hernandez Reyes and Ogborn in the backfield.
Throwing it.
There's going to be a throw from Hernandez Reyes. The pass is up for grabs and is going to be intercepted by Caden Walker, who was not fooled on that play. Moosh was the intended receiver, the halfback option pass. And Caden Walker was never fooled. Fourth interception of the night for the Berries. Caden Walker with his second INT. And the Berries will take over following the interception as the Bombers tried to come up with something. Not a bad time for a trick play. But Caden Walker does a nice job as he was not fooled and picks it off. And the Berries have it first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Yeah, they did open things up. You got to give them that.
Yep, knowing that they had to put some points on the board in a hurry. But I would get the ball to Doyle more often, Mark. They've looked like they only targeted him a couple times, but two, as you mentioned, two 22-yard plays, two of their biggest plays of the night.
Yeah, nice big target.
Yes, he is.
6'1", and 215 they list him at.
Now the handoff to Caden Walker around the right side, and nicely defended that time for the Bombers. Maybe a yard pickup that time for Walker out to the 25. Mark Thomas, what if I were to tell you that Purdue pinned Oregon back at the 1-yard line following a punt? And then the Ducks went 99 yards on a touchdown drive to go up 20-0 with a point after to come. So
yeah, that would not surprise me.
So that point spread of 30 may have underestimated. Oregon's had the ball 3 times and scored 3 times.
Oh, we're wearing them down.
That could be. 5:45 to go here, fourth quarter, 32-6. Logansport on top. Now the handoff to Jackson Walker around the left side. Minimal gain again out to the 27-yard line. And we'll set up third and long for the Berries. As Bryson Hurd comes over to the sideline to get the play call from Coach Johnson. I'm sure they'll let as much time off the play clock run as they can to try and get out of here with a victory to complete an 8-1 regular season. And even though this is not a conference game, as Rensselaer Central's in the small school division, still a conference foe. We'll be seeing these guys in the basketball court and the baseball diamond coming up Now pitch around the left side to Jackson Walker, and a nice job by the Bombers to stretch it out, but a good individual effort from Walker, and he might have the first down. Didn't think he had any chance to get that mark, as the Bombers had that well defended, but Jackson was able to get enough and get a first down. Nicely done.
Yeah, we talk about finishing the run, and he sure did that.
Yes,
time.
he did. First and 10 at the 35-yard line. And now I think Coach Johnson is getting his second unit into the field of play as Garrett Barron had those guys all huddled up, ready to go. And the starters will get a standing ovation from the faithful. As we mentioned, Mark, not a whole lot of folks have left this stadium. This fall break has kept the crowd down a little bit. Now we're going to get a timeout by Coach Johnson Berries to give his second unit time to acclimate themselves. Timeout comes at the 4:26 mark of our fourth quarter.
This is what you want on your senior night.
Yep.
You get the game in hand and give guys last few minutes off.
And a curtain call to get a standing ovation from the crowd that was here. This is an outstanding football team for the Berries. They have a chance to make a very deep run in the sectional. Culver Military and Lebanon might be the two of the better teams that they have to go up against, and that's who they will play in round number 2. If they get past Muncie Central, and certainly not taking that for granted. Muncie Central has had a struggle this year with just one victory, but the Berries will not take them lightly. But they want to, if they get that second win, because they're in the lower half of that bracket in the sectional 20, it could be the sectional championship, could be here at LMH Stadium. So I'm sure that Coach Johnson and his squad fully knows what is ahead of them. So backup quarterback Colton Hudson in, and the handoff to Cottrell at the 35 out to about the 38-yard line. Tackle made, I believe, by. I just can't see those numbers. I'm sorry, Mark. I thought I had the number, but they're just big numbers, but they're thick, and it's just so hard to see.
They almost look blurred, and then of course that may be my eyesight too, but
and mine as well.
Yeah, but
second down and 7 for Logansport. Now the counter play and a big hole across the 45 into Rensselaer Central territory. Still on his feet. Nice run that time.
Vasquez.
Yep, Isaiah Vasquez, 5'7", 125-pound freshman with a head of steam in that counter play and a nice hard run down to the 44-yard line. So the clock stopped to allow the chains to move. It restarts, 3:35 to go in our fourth quarter. As Cooper Jones comes out of the lineup. So Hudson at the line of scrimmage with Cottrell in at fullback. And Cottrell will get the handoff, and he's got some running room inside the 40, inside the 35, and takes some Bombers with him all the way down to the 31-yard line as they were trying to strip the ball away from him. And he was having none of that because they weren't trying to make the tackle. He was able to drag them for a couple extra yards down to the 31-yard line. Nicely done.
Yep, saw him at the end of last week's game. I was impressed with how hard he runs,
too.
Yeah.
And this is what we were talking about earlier. That's one of the things we don't like about the running clock is it takes some valuable playing time away from the reserves that will only help them and their respective teams in the future.
Oh, yeah.
So first down and 10. Logansport has it at the Rensselaer Central 31-yard line. Handoff once again to Cottrell. He's hit immediately, but drags a couple people forward with him. Hunter Hedden, 6'1" junior, makes the stop for Rensselaer Central, but not before Cottrell gains 4 down to the 27-yard line.
And, boy, he is, Joe, doing a great job of protecting the ball.
Yep, the Bombers are desperately trying to cause a turnover to get the ball back to their offense to put up a touchdown before the end of this game. As the Bombers with a first-round bye in the sectional, so they will have next week to rest up and scout their opponent. And the Bears, meanwhile, back to the drawing board with Muncie Central coming to town for opening week of sectional 20 football. Now Vasquez in motion. Now Connor handoff to Wicker, who's got some room inside the 20, inside the 15, and he is gone.
Wow.
A touchdown. Jackson Wicker. nice hole that time and a big, big run. And Jackson Wicker, nephew of Ferris Tribune's Bo Wicker, with a 27-yard touchdown. And the Bears are up 38-6 with a point after to come.
Well, it does not matter who's in the running back position. They're either going to score or they're going to get big yardage.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Tate Strong score on his only carry of the night,
right.
too.
So it is in for the point after is Eli Hopper. His twin brother JJ with a foot injury is unavailable, but Eli Hopper with the point after. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Eli Hopper with a point after. As the Hopper family sitting in front of us with a standing ovation. And it is now 39-6 with 1:56 to go.
39, Rensselaer Central, 6.
So Logansport will finish the regular season 8-1. Rensselaer Central will end their season 3-6 and their 2-game winning streak coming to an end. Knocking off Benton Central 59-0 on October the 4th. And then last week beating River Forest 42-21. But they were just overmatched tonight. And just a couple of plays here and there in that first half could have had a totally different game. Think back to that first possession when Hernandez Reyes was wide open in the flat and did not look back for the football. That could have been a first down. That ended that drive, and then Devalia, a 72-yard touchdown run on the next play. Just like that. It's just so many little things in the course of a game. 5 or 6 plays can make all the difference in the world, and 2 of them came back in that first quarter that totally changed the complexion of this first quarter. So it is Hopper to kick off, and Moosh is back deep, and as Mark mentioned a couple of times, just not a lot of players for Rensselaer Central, so they're about 35 players maybe. So they don't really have the luxury of going to their reserves. Their numbers are down this year, which is surprising given the success that this program has had over the years. As Clay Scott, our halftime guest, mentioned, the 2014 state championship in 2A. They knocked off Lafayette Central Catholic along the way in what was a big regional game. Now a squib kick by Hopper, and it is going to be fielded maybe, and the ball is up for grabs.
We may have gotten it.
Logansport might have it.
There's a late flag coming in.
Is that a flag, or is that just a
spotter?
Or is that just a beanbag to spot it? So, yep. Yeah, and that's what you were talking about earlier, Mark. Rensselaer Central maybe go for the onside kick. Why not? Just because you never know when you might need it. And so the Berries did that too in game situation. Just a squib kick to see and
work on it. Yeah,
exactly. What better time to work on it than an actual game situation? So the Berries, not a true onside kick, but a squib kick that between the hands team up front and the wedge a few yards back and into the dead zone, took that big hop off the field turf, and the Bears were able to fall on it. And
the nice thing is, at this level, you don't have to announce you're going to do it like you do in the NFL.
Exactly. So Cottrell in at fullback. Fumbled the snap. Hudson is able to pick it up. Now he was almost brought down, but he gets away, and now running for his life, and he's finally going to be brought down for a big loss. Tyson Cotner in on the stop. Lost back to the 42-yard line. Now Hudson heads over to the sideline, and 30 seconds still to go on the play clock, so they'll allow a lot of time to go, and we may see victory formation the rest of the way here for the Berries, as they won't have to snap this one until we get down to the 1-minute mark here in this contest, and the Berries will go to 8-1 on the season. And Rensselaer Central has some talent. There's no doubt about it. They could be a tough out in their sectional. Again, getting that first round bye. Bombers with plenty of time. And the Berries will take a knee, and I think the officials could have called a delay game because there was definitely 0 on the play clock when that ball was snapped. But at this point in time, no need, and so Berries will just have to snap the ball one more time. And we wish Rensselaer Central the very best of luck in sectional play in 2 weeks. And they'll finish their regular season at 3rd and 6. Or excuse me, at 3 and 6. I was looking at 3rd and 15 on the scoreboard. So the Berries still with 10 seconds to go on the play clock, so they will snap this one, and this one will be a final score So domination by Logansport right from the get-go as they end the regular season at 8-1, a successful senior night. Hopefully Michael Berry was able to return. He was the only injury that we saw for the Logansport. Rensselaer Central had a kid that lost with a twisted ankle, but hopefully that's all that it was, and he'll be ready to go in a couple weeks. Our final score, Logansport 39, Rensselaer Central 6. We will step aside for break. When we return, we'll have our post-game show live from Logansport.
8 wins and 1 loss. Winners of the large school division of the Hoosier Conference. Logansport will be at home next Friday night against the Bearcats of Muncie Central. Rensselaer will have the bye week next week, and they will play the winner of Bremen and Lake Station the following week.
All right, Alan James, thank you very much. Mark Thomas filling in for the vacationing Dave Packard and Joe Stetz back at LMH Stadium as the Berries put the Raps on an outstanding regular season, finishing 8-1 as they defeat Rensselaer Central 39-6. The Bombers win the season at 3-6, and the Berries ready for sectional play next Friday when Muncie Central comes to town. Mark, I know you had a couple minutes to put some numbers together.
We'll see if I make any sense here, Joe. Hernandez Reyes leading the rushing stats for Rensselaer Central, who moves to 3-6. 14 rushes for 88 yards. Carter Ogburn right behind him, 19 rushes for 80 yards. 36 carries overall, 157 yards on the ground for the Bombers. Passing the ball, 6 of 17. All of that was Westfall except for Hernandez Rogers did throw one and get it picked off, but 6 of 17, 73 yards, no touchdowns, 4 interceptions that the Berries managed to get tonight. Doyle, their big receiver, 2 catches for 44 yards. For the Berries, again, just a tremendous effort on the ground. Starting off, Del Valle, 9 rushes, 137 yards, and the touchdown to open the game. Jackson Walker, 81 yards on 10 carries. Elliot Baldini, 50 on 8 carries. Caden Walker, 50 yards on 9 carries. And pretty much everybody that touched the ball did well. Wicker with a 27-yard touchdown, Strong with a 4-yarder. 44 rushes, 378 yards on the ground for the Berries. Passing the ball, Bryson Herr, a nice night for him, ended 5 of 11, 70 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the 1 interception. Deegan Kitchell, 3 catches, 2 for touchdowns, 50 total yards for him. Dubes caught a ball for 11 yards. Jackson Walker had a 9-yard touchdown reception. So 378 yards on the ground, 70 through the air for a total of 448 yards for the Berries.
And our Coca-Cola players of the game, and I do say players of the game, as Coach Johnson has selected a couple, and they're on their way up to our broadcast location. So we'll open up the door and let some of this cool air in as they make their way. And being greeted by a couple of well-wishers, so we'll let these young men come up to talk, and two kids that we have not spoken with this year. So we'll allow them to make their way. Heck yeah. So our Coca-Cola players of the game, quarterback Bryson Herr, and what position would you say you play, Caden? You kick return, you safety, you running back, what would you say, wing back?
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
So what we have for 2 interceptions?
Yep, 2 interceptions this night.
Okay, and the big news, the question we had, you left last week with that knee injury.
Yeah.
It didn't look like you had any effects tonight.
No, I didn't, because I finally wore my knee brace. I kind of learned from it from the other games. Didn't hurt, so yeah, I'm good. Okay,
and then quarterback Bryson Herr, and we'll let I know you worked hard, Bryson, so I'll hold the microphone. So Mark just talked about your stats, very efficient. What a luxury. You got a great running backs, a great offensive line, and then the big fella he can catch it to throw the ball to.
I love it. It's awesome. A lot of weapons, and we're really hard to stop. So it's really
Okay, so we'll get back to Caden. So senior night, how cool was it to have your family? I got to see Maddie. I said hi to her. I hadn't seen her in a long time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Everybody comes out for senior night. All the family gets to see you. Gets to watch it and see you play. It's pretty cool.
No question about it. And so. Got a home game next Friday night. A former NCC foe. I know you want to get the job done.
We're all excited for that game. I mean, this is kind of the draw we wanted. Like, we still can't look past anybody at all because that's still going to be tough. But I think we can fight and win. And just get this chip at the end.
No question about it. So, Mark, do you have any questions for our guests?
Well, just Caden, obviously 2 interceptions, 4 interceptions for the Berries tonight. I don't know when the last time Berries had 4 interceptions. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And also 3 touchdown passes for Bryson. I don't know the last time a Berry quarterback had 3 touchdown passes. So you may have to go down to Clay Scott, and he's got every statistic known to man, but he can help you guys out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, guys, we thank you. We appreciate your time. We want to let you get back to the field and celebrate an 8-1 season, and best of luck to you guys next Friday night. So, Bryson Herr and Caden Walker are Coca-Cola co-players of the game, and Coach Mike Johnson is joining us now. And Coach, couldn't have started much better, getting a stop defensively, and then that big 72-yard run, first play from scrimmage offensively.
Yeah, I think they probably misaligned on that, but that was to go right to do that, it was kind of. It was nice. It was nice to see because we always worried about it. It's fall break. We had the week off. We're out of our routine and always seemed to be sluggish. And so I thought we were a little bit the second half, especially defensively. But you got to hand it to Rensselaer. Those guys are, they're tough. They're well coached, right? And yep, look, yep. And they. And they were state champions just 10 years ago. I mean, they've had programs that have been real good. So their backs ran hard. So it was a real challenge for us defensively. But we're happy to have fall break over, get back in a regular routine. But it's nice to see Cristobal, like you said, break that first one. And then, we brought Caden up because he had 2 picks. That's 8 on the season. That's pretty impressive, right? Puts him up there in the state leaders and national leaders even. And to get 8 is pretty remarkable. And he just has always had a knack for the ball. And then, we're glad to see the quarterback. There were 3 touchdown passes and just really had a really good game. So
yeah, your secondary is outstanding, but they had a lot of help from the pass rush. Your guys' front 4 did an outstanding job putting pressure on that quarterback all night long.
Yeah, anytime you got Lauren Taylor, and then you got Tate helping coming off the edge, and you got the speed of Baldini, and then Rosie's in there and Curry. So we feel pretty comfortable with those front 5.
And then the sectional next Friday night, you always want to get a home game, and you got a home game and a former NCC foe to boot.
Yeah, and we're glad to be home, and it's the second season, and really there are 6 ball games left in this season, so you just take them one at a time or you're done. You just fight to survive, and then have Muncie Central come back. It'd be a heck of a challenge. We have to ignore that record. We've seen film on them already. They have athletes. They're well coached. They play aggressively. They got some good size, so it will be a real challenge for us against Muncie Central next week. But we're glad that we're getting back into a normal, routine and rhythm with these guys. And
the weather has cooperated. I know it's the same for all teams, but it's how nice has it been to have fabulous weather to practice and play in?
Yeah, the final game of the season, right? And it was like 70 degrees basically today. And of course, once that sun goes down, it gets cold. But we're not going to complain about this. If it stays just like this, we'll be fine. It's good weather to play football in.
No question about it.
Yeah, it looks like, Coach, the offense is everything's kind of rounding into where it's supposed to be at the end of the year. You only throw the ball 11 times, and 11 may be a lot for you, but still, 3 touchdown passes out of 11 attempts. You got to be happy with that.
Yeah, and we would like to throw it more. I mean, we think that we got a good receiver in Kitchell, of course, and we had some other guys open and didn't get him the ball. So we'll continue to work on. But we work on that. We work on our screen game. We work on other things that can really help us out. So, and we got Bryson, only a junior, and he can he has a good arm. So and he's had pretty good protection. So, but that's a facet of the game we have to keep. We start on that every day at practice, and we emphasize it because that's going to you got to be able to do that in order to move on in the tournament. It just hopefully complements our run game.
All right, Coach. Still a lot of players out on the field, a lot of people, so we want to let you get back and celebrate the end of the regular season. And we'll talk to you next Friday night.
We appreciate it, guys. We'll see you on Friday.
Right,
Thank you,
Coach Mike Johnson of the Logansport Berries. We will step aside for a break. When we return, we will wrap things up. Once again, our final score: Logansport 39, Rensselaer Central 6. There's more to come live from Logansport. Thank you very much, Alan James. Welcome back to LMH Stadium alongside Mark Thomas, who's filling in for the Vacation Day Packer. This is Joe Stetz. Logansport 39, Rensselaer Central 6 to finish the regular season 8-1. Our Coca-Cola Coach of the game is selected by Coach Mike Johnson. Caden Walker, who now has 8 interceptions. I didn't realize that until Coach Johnson told us. Not only one of the leaders in the state, but in the nation. That's unbelievable.
That's unreal. In a high school football season, you pick the ball off 8 times. That's unreal.
In 9 games, yep, absolutely. And Bryson Hurd, the quarterback, as Mark mentioned, only threw the ball 11 times, but completed 5 of them, and 3 of them to touchdowns. And he is such a steadying influence in that backfield. It just seems to direct this offense flawlessly, whether it be handing off or throwing the pass, rarely when they ask him to throw the ball.
Yeah, they seem to be, you always say you want to be playing your best at the end of the season, and I think Berries are doing that.
Yep, no question about it. So, Mark, Dave will be back next week, but you're more than welcome to come and hang out with us if you want. It's going to be fabulous weather. Going to cool off a little bit, like tonight. But our chief meteorologist, Echo Simpson, said the weather's going to be very similar next Friday to what we had here tonight.
Well, I appreciate the chance to fill in, and thanks to you and Dave.
All right, so that will do it. Once again, our final score. Logansport 39, Rensselaer Central 6. Our next broadcast on AM 1230, FM 94.9, WSAL. Logansport will be next Friday night as sectional play gets underway as the Muncie Central Bearcats come to town for a 7 p.m. kickoff. We'll be on the air with the Mike Anderson Auto Group pregame show at about 6:45. Special thanks to our Comfort Keepers halftime show guest, Clay Scott, our Coca-Cola co-players of the game, Caden Walker and Bryson Coach Johnson, for spending time with us, and for Mark Thomas and our chief meteorologist and engineer, Echo Simpson. For all of those wonderful people, this is Joe Stutz wishing you a fabulous football evening. All right, Echo, I hope everything goes well for you next week, and we will talk to you soon.